All right, welcome to the podcast, you guys.
What's
So
up?
today, we're on the Ryan Wilson podcast. We got Clay Ahlfeldt, Tyler Ahring. These are our first reoccurring guests.
Yeah.
So Tyler Ahring and Clay Ahlfeldt, I didn't have them on individually. Like I didn't have you guys, just you two before. You guys are part of Barely Covered.
That's right.
Heck
So
yeah.
they came on with the whole Barely Covered band, but this time I wanted to do something a little different for the podcast. I wanted to have something that was, a lot of my podcasts are very business, like just directed straight to business. And a lot of it for me is networking, so that's why my podcast is set up that way. But I really wanted to bring you guys back on because you guys were, from the very get-go, one of the biggest podcasts. And part of it was because you guys also shared it, and you guys are active with it. I've had people come on the podcast that they don't even, like I'll post the podcast live, and they don't even share it. Like they don't even tell their whole community that they were on a podcast.
Right.
So it's hard for,
For it to grow.
For it to grow, yeah. How's anyone supposed to even know what happened? Like, if I have someone that's from not in my community on my podcast, the people in my community are going to watch it just to watch it if they want to. But the people that are really interested in it are whoever the guests I bring on. That's who's going to, their community is going to want to watch it. So if they don't share it, it's not going to get as good of views.
Right.
But you guys' video did great. And I think people wanted to see more of you guys, hear more from you guys. And apparently you guys have more of a life than just barely covered.
Yeah. There's
So-
some things happening.
Yeah,
you know?
so Tyler, for example, you're a teacher.
Yep, school teacher, and
What grade are you in now?
I'm high school. What grade am I in now? Well, I graduated from the
Teaching.
middle school, and
Teaching.
now I'm teaching at the high school. I teach business at the high school. So
Oh, really?
yeah, you remember Miss Mortz?
Yep.
That's
you
who I
replaced
am
her.
now. I'm her.
Okay. See,
Which is
I-
funny because I
am
married her not her granddaughter, her niece.
Was there some? Was there like a lead in to that? Is that how you got into the position, or is it just?
Not
chance?
really. No, I went to college for business, and
So you wanted
that
to
was
do
the
it.
job that I wanted to do eventually. Anyways, I was teaching middle school math before
That's
that.
what I was gonna say. You're doing math, and math sucks.
No, dude, math is awesome. I love
Math
math.
is so much fun. Like, I love
I
it.
hate math. I was watching a video.
Calculus is fun.
I was watching a video on something last night about how, like, I guess there's some math problems that are not only unsolvable, but like they're not right nor wrong. Like they're unsolvable.
Okay, yeah. That's true.
Like there's like it was just like there was one where a guy, it was called, I think it was called The Game of Life.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a program that had like blocks in it, and it was either a smiley face or a dead face, and it had like a pattern on it. But the patterns could go infinitely, but there was no way to ever track the pattern. There was no
solution to figuring that out.
Yeah, there was no way you could figure out like what the next pattern was going to be because there was infinite amount of different.
Options, yeah.
Yeah, it could
Sure.
go just infinitely as many times as you want. So it was just an interesting video, and then I watched it for about 10 minutes. And just kept going more and more into depth, and it was
You
like
kept getting more lost.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know
what
what's
is
happening
going
anymore.
on
You're
here.
like, hey, they told me I can't solve this. What am I doing here? Like, what are we
Yeah, I
trying
get
to
the
do
point
here?
of the video now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
They'll
if you
just
remember
keep you
Dave
glued in.
Coleman. He teaches math at the high school, and he's got all kinds of math tricks and things like that. He would be better served to have a conversation with you about that. I taught
I
mostly
couldn't have a conversation with someone.
I
about
taught mostly like algebra, basic geometry, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I did 7th and 8th grade math, so I'm really good at 7th and 8th grade math now.
that. But you could probably still. Highest level of math I ever did was college algebra, and I still sucked at it.
I took calculus in
hated
it.
high school, but
Yeah.
I think you took calculus with me.
I
Didn't
took
you?
calculus. It was not fun.
Yeah. First semester was great. Second semester, baseball season rolled around. I didn't really care about school as much.
Yeah.
Not really a good
Turns
thing
out
for a teacher to
baseball's
say.
funner.
Yeah, it turns out baseball was more fun than calculus.
Yeah.
Surprise there, right?
Well,
So-
did you have the first hour class, though? I had like first.
No,
or
I think I
it
had
was like
you.
first or second class.
I think I had
second
5th.
hour?
I think mine was like the split lunch one.
Yeah, see, I didn't have
Farrell
that
was
one
in
then.
mine.
I was early in the morning because I always wanted to
That sounds
sleep.
terrible. I would not want to
Well, I
have that early
sat
in the
next to
morning.
Matt. That was the class that like.
Was he good at math?
Oh yeah,
He was the guy
Yeah.
that could sleep during calculus and wake up and take the test and do just fine.
yeah. Matt would
Yeah.
copy off me and get better grades. You know.
I was the kind of guy that could
I don't
study
understand.
math.
Like, I'll never understand it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty rough morning class.
Calculus is pretty much where I tipped out though. Like I capped out at calculus. Like if I had to go further than that, it would sucked.
Sure.
I just remember
probably-
Miss Keller like being like I'm asking her part of the like question down here at like 3/4 of the page down, And then she'll be like, hey, what about up here? Like, she's like, how did you get here? How'd you get to this up here? I'm like, hey, don't worry about that, Miss Keller. Like, what
Did
about,
I get the answer
what
right
about
or
this,
not?
What about this part? She's like, but what about that? I'm like, no, like, I got that part. Like, we're
But
here.
for real,
We're
Miss
here.
Keller was amazing. She was awesome.
Yeah,
she was so good.
Yeah, very,
She's
very
so
good.
smart.
And yeah, she was. It was
Well,
just
math, it's
right there
almost
for her.
another language.
It is, yeah,
Whenever,
for sure.
like it's like a foreign language once
Yeah.
it hits a certain point.
You have like certain
For
formulas you need to know when to use, and like that's really the biggest thing. It's like it just gets bigger and longer, and you put letters in there.
Yeah.
But the nice thing
know?
about it is it's very logical. That's what I always told my students. Like if you're a a logical thinker, then once you learn how to do it, it's the same thing all the time. You just have to be able to replicate it.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Whenever
Yeah.
I try to just start to like melt my brain, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm done with this stuff.
Yeah.
So Tyler not only is as a teacher, but you were also a DJ. Was a DJ. Retired DJ now.
Yeah, I still have
Somewhat
3 gigs
retired.
left. I'm not accepting anymore. I've DJ'd since 2018. A lot of crazy stories from DJing. A lot of fun doing it. It was way more fun before I had kids. Once I had kids, it was less fun. But yeah, it was a good part of my life.
Because it was consuming your weekends a lot.
Yeah, that, and like now that I'm married, so with the school week, I'm busy Monday through Friday, and then Saturday comes. It just gets into like and then once you DJ, I mean, you're up all night long. You're not getting to bed until 3 o'clock in the morning, probably.
Yeah, because even if you shut down, if you
you're
at
the
a bar,
last one that closes the party. Like,
Yeah.
you're there until everybody's done partying, and then you're there picking everything up. So
Right.
Yeah, that's
That's
why I
the-
appreciate Red Oak Valley a lot
Yeah.
because they're very strict on their 11.
Yes.
We're done
Yeah.
at 11. So.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
get home before.
That's
which it
beautiful.
takes
nice.
the disappointment off the DJ, and we're like,
Yeah.
"Ah, dude, the venue, this is it for them.
Yeah.
Like, I could keep going, man, but this is it.
Our
I would
venue's
I
the
would
best
love
place to
to.
play then?
Yeah.
Okay, well, before we talk about that,
Yeah.
so Clay over here, he also works a full-time job, but he's also DJing.
Yeah.
So you guys might see him on the internet or out at a bar or at a venue or something like that as DJ Clay.
Yeah.
So that's
Right.
something Tyler and Clay both have in common. They're both DJs. So before I wanted to go into it, so they understand that you're also DJing too, Clay.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it only happened because of Barely Covered. Like,
Yeah.
we had the gear.
The
and,
DJ.
and people
Yeah.
just started contacting us. They'd contact Tyler, and then
Right.
at a certain point, it's just, it's too hard to turn down. We have all the equipment. Like, why not? Is kind of more of a thing.
Yeah.
It was a nice secondary income for sure, but I think everybody gets to a point where they're like, what do you value more, money or your free time? And that's kind of where I
Yeah.
got. That's why I didn't get out of it because I didn't like it, or it just get a little bit old, playing some of the same songs every night and dealing with some of the same crap. But other than that, it's just like any other job.
Especially for me, that's one of it. Is just like I'll try to switch it up because I play a lot around here and I play a lot of weddings and stuff, and then even like private parties. I like private parties the best, but yeah, like I hear the same stuff all the time, so I think people want to hear something different when most of the time they don't. They want to hear
Yeah.
the same thing
Right.
Because
over
they're not
and
listening
over.
to it every weekend.
Yeah,
Right.
They're
not
going
like
to
us.
one
Yeah.
wedding a year where you're going to one
Well-
wedding a week.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
listening to like new music all the time, like where I force myself to listen to like new pop music and new alternative music, and just like I'll just do that on Spotify, just to, like try to keep up. And but like it's very specific now, like new stuff, what people like. So
Yeah.
but a lot of it's country.
And a lot of that is because of TikTok, though. I mean, TikTok
Yeah.
and like
Oh,
people hear
yeah.
like little sound bites, and like they don't even know the name of the song. They'll come up to you and be like, "Can you play this?" And they hear just a lyric from the sound bite, and they want to hear that. And you're like, "Okay, well, the other 3 minutes of the song you're gonna hate."
Yeah,
But
it's
when it gets
terrible.
that,
It has like it has like a 15-second
Yeah.
like banger part of it.
Yeah.
and that's
That's
why
all
it
they
popped
know,
off
though.
on. Yeah,
Well, so like
I've learned that from TikTok.
I have
for
a
sure.
funny story from that because like you say that there's a lot of requests I've gotten that are from like like podcast, YouTube, just any other unnormal thing like TikTok, social media, and they'll ask me to play it, and I if I don't know it, I'm like, is this good? Like, what is this song? Like I have no idea what this
yeah.
is. Sometimes I take a gamble, like if I'm at Miller House or at a bar where
Sure.
it's not a big deal to play like one bad song. But I've had one. It was called I don't know if you guys know it. I didn't know it. It's called Short Dick Man. Or no, yeah. So
I probably would have vetoed that one.
yeah.
Like,
Well, this kid no, it's called something else. But
wait,
that's-
Short Dick Man. That is what you said, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's what I heard too.
Yeah. The name of it was different. I don't even know. I don't remember. I just know that Taylor Yansky or Taylor King was the only one that actually knew the song, but she said it was from like TikTok or something.
Oh, okay.
But that's pretty much what they said the whole time. Like,
Just over and over again.
Don't want no short dick man. And I'm like, I'm like, man, this was a real loss. Like picking this song for this guy, and you're just like, he said this was a good song,
right?
And he thinks this is a good song, and this is
the
not
worst
a good
person
song.
that requests songs at weddings are the people that don't dance at all. So as a DJ, you want the people to be dancing. So like.
Yeah.
You know, there are some people like Grace Schlottick, if she's at a wedding, or Dana Blimke. You know, there's a handful of people in our community that if they're at a wedding and I know them, I know it's going to be a fun wedding because they're going to be dancing, they're going to be having a good time. And if they come up and request something, then I'm like, okay, I know you're going to be out on the dance floor.
Yeah.
So even if it's a song I don't know, like I trust you and you're going to have fun with it. But the worst person at a wedding is the person that comes up and requests some random song and then you play it. And the dance floor is empty, and they don't even come up. And you just look like an idiot.
Sure,
yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, because you still got to stand up there behind your music.
It's yours.
Well, I've had a couple interactions too where people kind of come at you abrasively. Where I've had somebody say that like they're like, this sounds like a wedding from like 30 years ago, and I was like, I just pointed at the dance floor. And I'm like, look at all the people on the dance floor.
Yeah.
It's like, I was like, whatever you just said doesn't mean anything to me right now. Like, do you have
dance floor is full?
But then I just flip it. I'm like, what do you want to hear? Like, what's your suggestion? And then I'm like, I better see you on the dance floor because I have a microphone and I'll point at you and I'll be like, hey, what are you doing over there?
Yeah.
I thought you were in a dance, have some fun tonight.
And it's at the end of the day, I mean, it's just, you're just trying to find songs to have fun.
Just trying to have a good time. Yeah.
You know, like I don't understand people like that. Those are people who are way too uptight.
Well, I do a lot too where, a lot of people, I play more hip hop. I try to play more upbeat when I'm doing DJing because, I mean, everybody loves slow dancing,
stuff,
but like I'll try to wait for somebody's kind of request for that. And then if it's country or even just like a slow like pop song, I'll kind of wait for somebody to ask for a request before I like go down a certain genre. But a lot of times, too, I'll have to talk to people and be like, hey, this is a slow dance song. Like, if you love somebody in the crowd, go dance with them. Mm-hmm. And I'll kind of look at them if they don't get up. And I'm like, that's you. Looks like you're married to her. Like, I mean, you guys
You actually say that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sometimes, I mean.
I don't say that.
I have had a couple where, like, they're small weddings, but it just looks like nobody's having fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So
yeah,
it's at a certain point, it's like, well, I'm going to poke the bear and, like, make you guys have some fun. Like, it's not going to kill you to have a dance with your wife, even if you can't dance. Yeah. Or even like a friend, a sister, somebody you want to be boyfriend, girlfriend, like, make things happen. You know?
Tyler, you just DJ'd my friend Jonathan's wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess it was a few months ago now.
Sweet golf course.
Sweet golf course. Oh, it was amazing. Yeah,
the golf course was actually.
Was that
so? Clay
Peter's
was
one?
at Matt Jett's wedding that day. It was the same day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. That makes sense then. But I remember I went out there and danced.
Yeah,
but I can't dance.
Yeah.
I mean, I got out there and I was moving.
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's considered dancing, but I still I'd like to have fun.
Absolutely.
And I like to see people having fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just, especially at a friend, if I was like a guest to the wedding, like to somebody else, like I didn't know anybody there, sure, I want to get out there. But if I see the dance floor is dead, I'll try to drag people out. I'll try to get people hyped up in there. I'll try to get.
Yeah, because that's what it's about.
Even if I just stand there and sing along, because you're just trying to make sure you have a good time.
And so one thing that I think what got me a lot of DJ wedding gigs right off the bat was I knew that people want to be interacted with. They don't want somebody that's just going to stand up there and just play songs and never say anything to you. So I've always had really good interaction with people. So I talk a lot whenever I DJ in between songs. Whether it's like, introducing a song, reminding people like, hey, if you have a request, come see me. I'll play your song for you. Or making a comment about the bride and groom, something like that. But I'm always trying to interact with the audience. And then from there, I always feel like if I'm the goofiest looking dancer in the building, then other people will feel comfortable because they're like, well, he looks ridiculous.
Yeah,
so.
I can't look any dumber than that.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, I don't do that.
Yeah,
I don't dance. I don't do the dance.
Usually, like probably the first hour when the dance floor is really dead, usually I'm completely sweated out because I'm dancing hard behind. Yeah,
Copperhead Road.
Yeah, I just get out there and I kind of just move the shoulders and I kind of like bend the knees a little bit. And
I have some go-to moves my wife makes fun of me for, but I've had people. It'd be interesting if people were watching this podcast and there are people that I can tell are looking out in the audience watching me just smirking and laughing. And I'm like, I know. It looks ridiculous.
But the lights and stuff are so bright. I mean, it's
true. And I always make sure the lights are pointing the dance floor, not at me. So
Right.
But,
Yeah,
you got to have fun with it. If you're not having fun with it, then why are you doing it anyways? So
Yeah, who cares?
And they're not gonna have fun either. Like if you're not.
Oh yeah,
if you're not
having
into
fun,
it, like you can tell it's not gonna be a good night. Like you
I mean,
have to
there's
switch
been
yourself
weddings
into
that
that.
I've DJ'd where like I felt like crap, like I was actually sick,
Yeah.
or like I had gone through some crap and I was like not in a happy mood. But like I committed to that wedding months and months ago. You can't just bail like because I'm sick. Like I gotta be there. I don't have a choice. So like there's times where I'm like, all right, force the smile, start dancing, look happy because that's what you got to do. Same thing with Barely Covered. Like if we were out playing a show. And like we were all feeling like crap, and we let the audience know we felt like crap, then the audience isn't gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Like,
it relays over to them.
it's part of being a showman for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say. That's really important too.
One thing I try to do too is like I try to plan and kind of communicate with the bride and groom, mostly the bride, because obviously like she's the boss. So try to make sure she has everything she needs and she's comfortable, like whatever they want to do, because usually there's like a set schedule, like we have a form they fill out. You have a general idea of how the day is going to go, but it usually never is that. Or it gets switched around, things happen. So like just making sure that they know, like they can put anything on me. Like if they have to make an announcement or if they have to change things, like just tell me, I'll let the crowd know, and then, basically work from there. But I just make sure they're comfortable first and like what they want to do, and then I kind of go from there. And
then there's like little value added things you can do too. And like, I mean, anytime you own a business, you're always looking for like, how can I make this experience better for, the people that are coming and enjoying my business. Yeah. Same way with DJing. Like, I've been to a lot of weddings. I've seen a lot of DJs. I've seen what works, I've seen what doesn't work. But even something is like, as the DJ, you're not always doing stuff. Like there's times where you're not doing stuff. And like while people are eating and you're just playing ambiance music, like you can go around and look about like, okay, well, what do they have set up here? Where's the cake at? Where's all the stuff at? And then when the bride and groom are done eating and the head table's not eating, I always go up and throw their plates away or like ask to take their food away. And like, they're like, that's not your job. You don't have to do that. I'm like, yeah, but I'm here for you. And they remember stuff like that. So any value added stuff. And that. I mean, you own business.
It's a sense of importance to those people, right?
Right. But they remember that. They might remember that more than, the crappy song you play 3 hours later. They're like, why do you play this?
Well, it does, like I said, it makes it easy for, most people I deal with, they get real comfortable, and then it just makes the whole night a lot easier.
Yeah.
Even if it does,
it's a good way to break
even
the
if
ice,
something happens, like they know that you, like I
You're
have
there
their
for them.
back.
Yeah.
So if they need anything at all, like I can do it real quick, and it's not a big deal.
Right.
So like
and they want to know that
goes
you're
a long
flexible.
way.
If you can be flexible, it's literally just business. Like if you, but you want to meet those criteria. If you can show that on a night of DJing, you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel Caitlin May says she does the same thing when she does doing photography at weddings.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife does.
She's really good.
Earhart, our drummer, he owns a video production company.
He was supposed to be on the
same thing.
podcast today.
Yeah. He's bummed that he couldn't be here. So
Well, let's pause the podcast for a second, real quick. Anybody that's listening to this podcast right now, whether you're listening to it in your car, your headphones, on YouTube, at my gym, on the Stairmaster, Brandon, I know you're watching this. Freaking stop, like this video, subscribe, share it with your friends. I always forget to plug my own self, but we have grown. Like since my very first podcast, I've
who
doubled
was
my
your
subscribers.
first podcast?
It was Chase Sankowski.
Okay, I remember that. Yes.
And it was Chase Sankowski and Morgan Huebner, my realtor.
And we were like,
my
what,
brokers.
3 or 4 or something like that? We were
You guys were third.
Third,
Yeah.
okay.
You guys were third.
Yeah.
And it sucks because not that I love the podcast and they were great and they got a lot of views, but I wish I would have figured out my mics then. I wish I would have figured out my cameras then.
Right.
I just wish I would have
had. For sure.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
now whenever I share my podcast on my Facebook page, and it's just like, oh, Ryan Wilson shared another podcast. Mm-hmm. And I do have some supporters and I do have some people that actually really like to watch it. But yeah, it's like if the first few episodes I think would have been better, I think people would have kept coming back. But that's why I'm trying to get people better with the mics, to talk better in the mics, and they get the video quality better, because I get critiques all over the place and I love it. I'm like,
Well, yeah.
Right.
someone could some people can't take criticism very well.
Yeah.
And as long as it's
You got to be willing to
constructive.
welcome it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all about it, because I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Because a lot of times I can't stand when someone knows what I'm doing wrong and they won't tell me it. And it's just
Right.
like,
That's worse than not saying
show
anything
me.
at all, for sure.
yeah. But there's some people that can't handle it. Like there's some people that you try to help them, and you think you're helping them, and it's just stressing them out. And it's just like, I was just trying to help you.
Yeah.
Why? So I just wanted to stop it real quick. Plug
Perfect.
myself, tell everyone to do it, because if you haven't done it, do it right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Subscribe. Because that's what I had to
We'll
do.
show this on the Barely Covered page. That's our plug. We're Barely Covered, local band.
Everybody knows us already.
Yeah. Well,
no.
Hopefully they think good about us.
Yeah,
Depends
hopefully.
on,
It depends on how they
on the
know
show.
us. Yeah.
Well, the
where
cool
we're
thing
at.
with the podcast here is that I have a ton of different people on. I just had Sam Lowe on last week or yesterday, and so she's going to be the podcast that came out right before this, so everybody would have watched it last week. But she's a really awesome girl, killing it from a very young age, and I think if she keeps doing what she's doing, she's just going to be she's going to make a lot of money in her life. She is. I mean, I think she's only 23, 24 years old.
I didn't watch it. What'd she do?
Well, just got recorded yesterday, Clay.
Well,
it ain't as of right now,
You got
recording
me
it ain't
interested.
live, but she has it's called Marketing Makeover.
Oh.
And so she's been, because I've been big into marketing lately, so that's why a lot of my guests on the podcast lately have been around associated with marketing. Like I have another guest coming on, it'll probably be my next podcast that comes out, and she's in marketing too. But so this lady, she started out doing social media, basically advertising and marketing for businesses, because like that's, like nowadays, all social for a business. If you have a business, you need to be marketing on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, probably even. You got to have it out there. It's just a required field now. But the problem is a small business can't afford to pay a
an
marketing
individual
team.
person to do it.
Yeah, and well now, but that's where Sam comes in. She's a company where you pay her X amount of money a month, and she'll post for you and do come up with the ads. So come out and because it's more than just making a picture on Paint or on Photoshop and then sharing.
Yeah, creative content does so much better.
Yeah, you gotta
and interaction. Like interaction's huge because, like you said, if you post all the time still and you don't have anybody interacting, it doesn't really hit the algorithm. Like he says, he got post every day.
We've actually talked about this a lot with Barely Covered, and now what Casey is doing with his videography business. That's something that we've talked about a lot. And we've seen, you've had Caitlin Mace on. She's had a big social media presence for a while, and she's battled the whole Facebook algorithm and everything like that. So
I just went on her podcast.
Oh, she has a podcast now too?
She had a podcast about a year ago. She started it up. She was going pretty heavy in it, doing episodes all the time. It was just voice though. It was all audio, no visuals.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I think just with her photography and everything, I think it got so busy that she had to pump the brakes on something.
She's got a pretty big, booking throughout the year.
Yeah, I think she
always
stays
busy.
pretty busy.
Yeah, and this takes a lot of time to edit, to do and edit.
Yes, for sure. And I think it just became a lot for her, so she stopped. And then when I had her on my podcast, that's what she basically said. She's like, this kind of
got her motivated.
Relit the fire. And she's like, I'm gonna. She came back in. She came on in September, and she's like, I'm not gonna be able to start till November. But she's like, I want you to come on first. And then there's a thing over in Raleigh for young professionals, and it's just getting small business owners together. And it's called the
Chamber
Collective.
of Commerce type stuff.
Yeah, it's under the Chamber of Commerce in Raleigh, but it's its own division. They do their own thing. And it's just all these small business people get together and they talk and share information and network and stuff like that. And so I went. That was I guess that was last week Thursday. And then she's like, "We're still doing the podcast, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and because we had it kind of set up, and I just did it on Wednesday. So I've done a podcast every day for the past 3 days now.
So I was going to ask you that.
Slamming them out.
So is that how you're getting people on here, or is it just like us where you know these people?
Oh no!
Or are you networking to get people on here?
Yeah, that's how I'm doing it. Networking. 90% of my podcasts, I don't even know the people. Never talked to them my entire life.
Just shoot them a Facebook message, or
it's Facebook. Facebook's my number one thing, but yeah. So basically, everyone that comes on the podcast, they usually send me someone else. They usually give me a list of people, and they're like, "You should have this, and this person on." I'm like, "Oh yeah, definitely."
Nice.
There was one guy. He owns Man Up Testosterone. His name's Jeff. He's out of O'Fallon. He's getting ready to come on the podcast, and I met him I bought a set of wheels off him. I literally was on Craigslist, or not Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, found a set of wheels for my Camaro, and I went to buy it, and I went there, and he has 5 or 6 just sweet cars. He's got, he had just a few brand new jacked up Jeeps, but then he had a brand new Z06 Corvette, I think, and then he had, I think it's an Audi. What are those really slick Audis that they look like supercars? You guys know?
an
an R8 or something.
a Bugatti?
It's not a Bugatti,
No,
but it freaking looks. It looks slick like one.
The round hood where it's flat on the bottom.
It's all rounded off. And
it's probably not.
I think it's like an R8 or something like that, or I don't know. I don't really know.
You know if it was a BMW, right? Like
It wasn't a BMW.
It was probably an Audi then.
Yeah. But he just had like a full, like just ton of cool cars and stuff. And I got to talking to him, and I added him on Facebook. And yeah, he owns Man Up Testosterone in St. Louis. He has like 3 or 4 locations. And I just sent him a message like, "You want to come on the podcast?" He's like, "Yeah, absolutely." And so that's how I just look for people that have it's either interests in fields that I'm in, because he does all like TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. And so, with me owning a gym, I get the question all the time. Like people, that's the big thing right now is people are just getting on testosterone, and instead of doing steroids, like that's their first move. And a lot of guys are low on testosterone, and so that's why you got to go somewhere that you can trust to get a full blood panel and see what's low in your body. I knew a guy that had it done 2 years ago, and he was producing too much blood. And they told him, like, you got to go give blood once a year. And he's like, ever since I started doing that, I feel great.
Really?
Yeah. And so, you can go to the doctor's office, and you can be like, hey, can I get a blood panel ran? But it's not a full blood panel. And so that's like something he does there. But he also does like the testosterone replacement therapy where he's like, yeah, you're incredibly low. He can give you a bunch of stuff. And I'm interested to see what else he can do. Because I get the question all the time in a gym, and I'm like, I don't know. I own a gym.
Well, it's cool that you're taking that step though to talk to the right people to figure out how to answer those questions.
Yeah.
Because that makes you way more credible. Like
absolutely.
Like I know this guy that literally this is what he does.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
cool. I
cool.
got a guy out of Tipton that I talked to, and he's like a big guy for the nutrition and diet side of stuff that I try to send people that direction. Because people come to me and they're like, can you help me out with my diet, or can you help me find, like, you have someone in-house that can help me do it? And I'm like, I have a couple people locally, and there's a few people. Danielle Farrar, she's getting into it now.
Yeah, I've seen her ads at the
that'll be
gym.
very interesting to see.
Nutritionist or
yeah, she's gonna do like.
What's her? She's got an ad that runs in your gym, right?
Yep.
What's her business name? I've seen it several times.
Damn it, Tyler, you're gonna call me out here. Huh? it's live intentionally.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Live
yeah,
intentionally.
Yeah, I thought so. On
Sorry,
that
Danielle,
ad,
if you're listening to this,
on
you
that
just put me
ad,
on the spot.
Danielle, I
It
know
wasn't that
Danielle
long.
too.
You're
I
good.
could have sworn that was Danielle on the ad, but it doesn't say Danielle's name anywhere. It just has her business name, which I thought like. So I look at.
So we should change it. Should I?
Well, I don't
recommend
know.
to her?
I was thinking about that because I look at advertisements. I'm like, I wonder why they made it this way. But maybe she wanted it to be, and I don't think it's wrong by any means. Maybe she didn't want it to she didn't want people to judge it by who she is.
Yeah.
Just that this is what her profession is.
Mm-hmm.
So and the same way, like if people
just getting started too.
Yeah, and if
Very-
people saw me,
And I'm talking the business is just getting started. I don't want that to be a misconception. She's been in this for her entire life, basically.
Right.
She's something she's very interested. Now she's just wanting to apply it to be able to help
other people.
better people's lives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So that I just want
But
to make sure.
I honestly think the advertisement the way it is the way I would do it too, because I think if I slapped like whatever venture I'm trying to do, if I slap my name on the advertisement, the people who know any Ahrings whatsoever, they're going to make some sort of predisposed judgment based off of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which it may or may not represent me.
Well, I use Tyler a lot just because I know he knows so many more people than I do. So like on Facebook, so I'll just tag Tyler, and that'll add an extra like 500
that's your
people.
marketing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
to
I
build
mean,
it because it pops up on there.
And also too, like people I know that are actually going to be on Facebook or that are more likely to share. Like I'll tag them and interact with them more, and then I have no idea who their friends are. I have a lot of friends all across the United States, so I get a lot of different areas I can show, but like half of them, they don't live here, so it doesn't matter to them.
Yeah.
So,
Right. So
but-
it's more impactful to be able to tag Tyler where it pops up.
Yeah.
Where Tyler Ahring was tagged.
Well,
in this
with the
post.
mob, I had a lot of people that were local. So if I
Yeah.
share something on Facebook and it's meant to reach like a local market, I feel like my stuff reaches local people a lot because I just have a lot of local people on mine.
Yeah.
Plus,
Which is sort of helpful.
yeah, and Tyler's okay too, so that
Yeah, I'm
helps.
okay, I'm okay sometimes.
Yeah. He doesn't always make me look bad.
Yeah. Just
So-
that barely covered shows a couple of times.
So let's talk about some new stuff in the community because Danielle's got her new business in the community. Fitness parlor is certainly I consider pretty new in the community. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm a
I
year and a
agree.
half in now, but there's a ton of other new stuff. You just talked about Red Oak,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the venue.
And
What's
they've
it
been growing
called?
like crazy.
Red Oak Valley.
Red Oak
Yeah.
Valley, which
Yeah.
is a wedding venue, a beautiful wedding venue.
Well, what they have
in
two
Owensville,
now.
Missouri.
Yeah.
They have two now?
They
Yeah,
have
he
two
has-
now. So they have
Same
usually-
location or two
Well,
different locations?
It's same location, but they're like separate. Like from from the original building, you can't see. They call it the White Barn, I think, right?
Yeah.
You can't see the
There's
other
a red
location.
barn and a white barn.
Pretty much.
Well,
Yeah.
have you noticed how the lights?
One's more modern.
And these
Across
things are
rustic.
barely considered barns. Sure, they kind of look like barns, but I mean,
Oh,
they're
they're very
fancy.
upscale.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're nice.
They're nice. It's very nice out there.
Yeah,
but,
they've done a good job out there, and
but that one's just bigger. They couldn't hold as many people in that one, so I think they were kind of losing some weddings because it wasn't big enough.
Do you guys know what it costs to rent one? Something you just rent it for the day, right?
Oh,
well,
like
it
a venue?
depends. They have like
that venue.
that venue?
alone.
that venue in particular. So there's carriage houses there. So sometimes they'll have like so if you book a wedding out there, you can book a wedding and just have it just for the day. Or you can book a wedding and say, okay, well, the day before we're going to have our rehearsal. And then after our rehearsal, the people that are in the wedding party and the bridegroom, they're going to stay in these carriage houses. So especially for people that are out of town. You wouldn't believe the market for out of town people at wedding venues.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
for example.
Yeah, because they all need somewhere to stay.
Right,
They're
for
coming
sure.
in and they're drinking and they're like, I can't.
Yeah, they can't
Where am I
leave.
gonna go?
But there's a large market of people that are out at, out in the city that want to have like a country wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So they come and they fill these places up, and that happens all the time. So I can't believe I'm trying to think of.
Well, they have a big house. They have like
Yes.
behind the one you can see off the road.
So you can book it for
And
2 days. Essentially, that's
so
the answer
I
to your
think you
question.
can have. It's pretty.
What's the price?
That's the
Roughly.
thing.
You guys
I don't
Is
know
it
because
10 grand, 20 grand.
I have no
No,
idea.
it's not that much. So no. So the place I got married
That
at,
seems cheap then.
I mean, I can only speak to my wedding. So when I
Yeah, it's different for everyone.
You had your
like
wedding
you
out
sell
there?
different packages.
No. I had my wedding at a place called the Mill Bottom in Jeff City, which, for anybody that's watching this that's trying to book a wedding venue, if you go and find a place that's getting ready to open and they're not done yet, you can usually get a pretty good deal because they're trying to book clients. And the idea of like, hey, this is what it's going to look like. It doesn't look like this right now. And that's what I did. So I kind of got into a fortunate situation. In the Mill Bottom, we ended up loving it. Obviously, I'm biased because that's where I got married.
It
But
was a really good DJ.
yeah, Clay DJ'd my wedding. But it was I only had to pay $1,900 for my wedding venue.
Wow.
Now the price of the Mill Bottom has gone up considerably since then because now they're established. When we first looked at it, the Mill Bottom wasn't finished. Like they still had to go in there. I mean, they were still doing a lot of construction and whatnot. But because we booked when we did, we got a pretty good deal on it. Now, I won't say names, but there's a place called Little Piney that's outside of Herman. It was actually the first wedding Barely Covered played as a band. And we were pretty taken back when we went out there. I wasn't married yet, so I hadn't gone through that whole process. But Little Piney was super nice, incredibly nice. They had a carriage house. They had the whole thing, a nice lake. And I think to book out there at that time was like $7,000 for the weekend.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
But that's
Like-
the weekend. Friday, so you could
Friday,
have the rehearsal
Saturday.
out there. You could have
Yeah.
the wedding out there.
so basically you're
You could
staying out
sleep
there for
at-
one night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again,
Well,
it's just
okay,
the-
two
nights.
nights.
Two
Two
nights,
nights. Because
yeah.
you can stay there Saturday night too.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, Little Piney was fantastic. I mean, the whole wedding industry just in general. I wish Casey was here because he could speak to it too because he's very involved with it now. The whole wedding industry in general is a very interesting market. That's why you see so many wedding venues popping up, especially in this area because there's so many people in the city that don't want to get married in the city and they come out here.
But it's also in the
freaking
city.
city.
It's really expensive to rent out. You know,
place in the city.
like the
Let's talk about the
Hilton
freaking
or
city for
something.
a second, right?
All right.
Yeah.
City people and country people, right? And I don't like to use that term because I mean,
City folk.
city folk, city boy. You guys heard that on TikTok?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody use that. But like everybody from the city, they act like it's so great
To live in the city?
to live in the city. But
Okay.
what's so freaking great about it? To live there. I understand the importance.
Chick-fil-A, Ryan. Chick-fil-A, man.
Dude, Chick-fil-A is
Well,
overrated.
What?
Yes.
Ryan, I'll fight you right
Tyler,
now.
what's your opinion?
Okay, so I have a
No,
little
let's
bit
talk
of a
about
different.
Chick-fil-A, and then let's go back to the city then.
Okay, I mean, I love Chick-fil-A too, but
Yeah, see, yeah.
You love it? Like,
I
so
mean, I
good.
also like Raising Cane's. I like Zaxby's. I
Yeah.
like chicken. So
We like
chicken.
chicken.
I'm not like a Chick-fil-A like.
I'm an advocate.
I'll go to any place that's chicken. I
dude,
don't care.
I've been to Chick-fil-A one time, I think, my entire life. It was in Gulf Shores, and it was for breakfast, and there was literally 2 lines wrapped all the way around the building
Dude, they are
into
so
another
efficient,
parking
though.
lot.
Yeah.
Dude, they are really fast.
Yeah.
For as many people as
Did
they
you-
pump
did
It
into
was
stay
there.
in
fast
line?
food chicken.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
still,
but they get it
do
through there. I will say,
It was a
I-
McChicken. It was
You
no
look at
different
that
than a
crazy
McChicken.
line, but they get people through that line insanely fast.
Yeah.
They're a well-oiled
Simple
machine.
but good, Ryan.
I just don't understand the hype about it.
Well,
Chicken
have you
nuggies,
ever
bro?
eaten at Raising Cane's?
Huh?
Have you ever eaten at Raising Cane's?
No.
They literally
I
don't
don't like fast. I don't like chain anything. Any type of franchise, anything.
Yeah.
Like
It's not for you. That's fair.
I
That's
feel
fair.
like
that's
it's all
fair.
cheap.
I mean, my wife and I would say the same thing. Like, if we had a choice to go out to eat somewhere nice, we would rather go to a place that's not fat, like a chain for sure.
Yeah. So why Chick-fil-A over anything else? Like, if you want a chicken sandwich, why don't you just go to McDonald's that has no line and just get a big
No,
chicken?
it's not
No,
the same,
no,
man.
it's not the same as
same.
McDonald's.
It's not the same.
No.
What's not the
Chicken. It's
same?
real chicken.
No,
it's a chicken breast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it real chicken
Yeah.
breast?
Oh yeah.
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 For sure.
If you've had
Like,
chicken,
I mean, if you're going to get chicken, you're not going to go to McDonald's and get a chicken sandwich. And God, not a McChicken.
Yeah.
Though I don't even know what that is.
yeah,
to be
that's not chicken.
And I'm
bro.
not saying like a McChicken's not like.
I'll
I
still
mean, I'll
eat
eat a
'em.
McChicken, but
I haven't
it's
ate
not a
it.
Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
Yeah, it's not the same.
But Raising Cane's, what I was getting at, Raising Cane's, I think, has an amazing business model. If you go to Raising Cane's, I can guarantee you're going to get your food, you're going to order it, and you're going to get it. And the reason why is because the only thing on their menu is chicken strips. There's no chicken sandwich. There's no salad. There's no anything.
No, there's a chicken. It's all
There's a
chicken
chicken-
strips, but there's a chicken sandwich.
There's a chicken sandwich, but the chicken sandwich has
Is the
chicken, strips, on it.
Oh, it's just chicken strips.
yeah.
So like
Same
they
chicken,
just make
put on a
chicken
Breaded
bread.
strips.
chicken strips.
That's literally
Yeah.
all they make.
Yep.
Now their chicken strips are really good. Like I think they're good chicken
They
strips.
better
Yeah.
be good if that's all they make.
Yeah,
Hey.
and they get a lot of business, dude, and
Yeah.
they're growing. They've been opening up stores all over the place.
Okay,
yeah.
so you got a Chick-fil-A. Move that out this way a little closer.
Yeah, that's it. That's
You know
all I
what
got.
I'm saying? But like,
that's it. That's it.
like I people always tell me they're like, oh well, I can go shopping whenever I want. Like I can go get clothes, like up to the mall whenever I want.
Oh, so we're back to the city.
We're back
Like,
to the city.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
we're back
yeah.
to the city.
Yeah.
You guys didn't convince me on Chick-fil-A
Okay,
and all that because
but-
I haven't ate at fast food and I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you how.
So you've never had Chick-fil-A
you've never
sandwich
had
in your
it?
life?
DJ Clay, the last time I seen you play live, I came. It was what was that?
Miller House?
It was Miller House the day before Thanksgiving.
Was that the one you went to?
Thanksgiving.
Was
And
that the last
that
one
was
you went to?
that was the last time I ate fast food, but the time before that was 2 years probably.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, just because I just don't even care about
Good
it.
for you.
And that was the first time I actually
Yeah.
ate the Taco
You're a better
Bell
man
in
than me.
Owensville, and that's the only
Yeah.
reason I did it because I was drunk and I'm like, let's give this thing a try. I had to be drunk. To do it.
well, Taco Bell's open.
You're not gonna,
so I
yeah,
guess
you're
we're
not
going
gonna
to Taco
catch me
Bell.
eating it sober. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's very common. You'll see that in the city a lot. It used to be Steak and Shake. A lot of Steak and Shakes closed, but you see them at like Taco Bell, Steak and Shake, White Castle. Gets kind of crazy late at night because
Actually, every time I look back on the time I ate fast food in the past like 5 years was when I was drinking.
yeah,
Every
Yeah.
single time.
comes with the territory.
Well, it's
Yeah.
late at night. You're hungry. There's not a lot of options.
Yeah.
Usually
what you go
you've
with.
been out
Need
for a
something in my
while.
belly.
Need something
Yeah.
quick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But the whole city thing.
Okay, the city thing. Okay, so I have a little bit different perspective than you guys, I guess, because I have kids. I want my kids to go to school in a rural community just because I've taught in both. I know what it's like. I've sub-taught in Columbia for a long time whenever I was going to grad school. But I think rural community schools, they don't have as many options, but what they offer is a lot different than a big school. So, like, if I was to send my kid to Rockbridge in Columbia, my kid's probably not even going to like make a sports team if he wants to play it because, well, I'm a 5'10" white guy and my wife is also.
Actually,
you know,
I would argue to say that's why I would want my kid to go to the city. I would
be-
actually
be-
say that's
well, to
you
push
said-
them to be.
Yeah, if they're
to
good.
push. Well, I think it
Well-
would push them to be better.
Well, then you
Yeah,
get into
you-
a whole conversation about like
Yeah.
what are high school sports supposed to be. Like, in my opinion, are we sending kids to play sports to become professional athletes? Or are we sending kids to play sports to like
I don't even
learn
want
the
to
life
shouldn't get into that
lessons?
because I would be totally different on the subject from sports from you guys.
Yeah,
What's
I
your
think they're
position?
completely pointless.
You think
Oh,
sports are
boy.
pointless?
Not completely pointless.
Well, that's what you just said.
Yeah, you're right.
That was your sentence before
Yeah.
that.
Okay, I understand like the discipline and the physical aspect of it all, but I think sports are kind of a waste of time.
But you
I
lift
think
weights.
yeah, I do it for myself for health reasons, mental
Yeah, but-
reasons to better myself every day. But like I don't watch sports. Like I went to my first hockey game the other day. But like if I
You didn't go nuts. You didn't.
nah
You did.
they
you
scored a
didn't
goal
have
and I'm
fun?
like, yeah, they scored a goal.
Oh my gosh, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean everybody stood up. Everybody
you're
stood up and
killing
freaking
me
out. And
right
I'm just
now.
like,
Killing
yeah, it's
me.
good, man. Good for. I was like, I understand why people like it,
Yeah.
but I have no interest in going and watching them. I don't want to watch. I want to play the sport. I
Well,
love
yeah.
sports.
So wait,
Well, yeah,
so
same.
I enjoy
do you
playing
think
them.
playing sports is a waste of time? Is that, or are you watching
Why-
sports is a waste
well,
of time?
Well,
That's interesting. I think
So you're a high school kid. You're well, not even a high school kid. Let's say you're.
It's because like I don't really watch sports as much as I used to. I used to be like every day, all day, ESPN, football, baseball, basketball, college.
Right.
You know, like everything, all day long. Like now, I still follow like the Blues, you know, local stuff, Cardinals, but like I'm not invested.
But
like
isn't
I'm
it
not
just
like
the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and
no,
over?
because
Well-
rules change, people change. You know, like
Do the rules change that much?
Yeah. Oh yeah. In
Over
football,
time,
like
sure.
every
Like
year.
baseball is not the same as it was whenever I was a kid, for sure.
Yeah. So like
Drastically. I mean, I just
Not
feel like it
drastic.
hasn't
I
changed
mean, like
that
to
much.
you, to
Well-
somebody who doesn't follow it, then you'd be like, yeah, this is
Same
the way it's been played
concept.
for 100 years.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
why are people still into this? But
Yeah. That's
I mean,
exactly
if you're
what
into
I'm
the
looking at,
nuances
like-
and the strategy of the game, then for sure. I mean, there's some big changes that are happening this year that are going to change for sure the way like contracts are handed out, how much money people make, who makes more money. Like that's going to change a lot this year.
But what's the importance of it?
I mean, from
Entertainment.
it's as
all
important as
it
any
is.
entertainment thing is. Any video game or any movie
Yeah.
or any.
Yeah, but even like I think I play video games, but a lot of times I played video games yesterday because it was a snow day, had nothing better to do.
I don't think watching sports is any different than playing a video game. It's purely entertainment.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
You're
on
right.
the same level.
Breaking
to
the
me.
monotony.
The only
It's a way you can
difference-
escape from whatever your normal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
I get to physically be involved. Like, I would say watching sports is like watching
Someone play a video game. Sure.
like someone play a video game.
I would agree with
but
that.
playing a
Yeah.
sport is like playing a video
Video
game.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, I mean, sports at least have the physical attribute attached to it, where you're at least getting in shape.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think that whole aspect behind it, and the ones that do have potential in it, like obviously if you go into the NFL, yeah, that's great. You're gonna make
Why
a ton
do
of
that?
money.
You're
Yeah,
not gonna
like,
make more money doing something else.
yeah, like good for you there. But
It's such it's such a small percentage.
Yeah.
And that is the one thing that, as a high school coach, I've seen it time and time again. I mean, how many NFL players have come out of Owensville High School? How many MLB players? How many NBA players?
Yeah.
So sometimes parents are, and I don't have a problem saying this on a podcast where, people who potentially, have had me as their coach or whatever. I mean, that's fine. I mean, look at the numbers. The best player that I ever played with was Ryan Cooper. He's probably one of the best athletes to ever come out of Owensville. Depending on what age you are, you saw different great athletes, but Ryan Cooper is definitely in that conversation. Ryan Cooper didn't go play a professional sport.
Yeah.
Did he have a chance? Sure, he definitely had a chance.
Yeah.
He had a
If things
chance.
were different though, maybe because he got a lot of injuries too, right?
Yeah, he
Which
tore his ACL.
halted
Yeah, he
a
tore his
lot of
Achilles. Yeah.
Oh,
Right? Because
yeah.
he was super good, and so people
But another thing that probably
super good for our area though.
Yeah, I mean, big fish, small pond. But
Yeah.
he went on to play Division I baseball, which that's not a joke. I mean,
Yeah.
that's you don't just get there by
Not
accident.
easy to do,
No,
by any
No.
there's not. I mean, I can't name another Division I baseball player out of Owensville High School. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he was a big deal. But
Okay, so I guess I shouldn't say completely pointless
Yeah.
or worthless or whatever
yeah,
I said.
I think it's a
Well,
good thing for people that
it's
are
just-
younger to get involved with.
Yeah.
I
But
think
I
I
also-
actually kind of agree with you, though. I don't think that people need to make it their end all be all.
Yeah. It shouldn't be.
I
It
think
shouldn't
that's
be a
where
lot.
I think that's
Yeah.
because I guess I can go off on more of the drastic side of it because everybody else is on this far left side where they believe in it so much, and it is you have it. And you like say a baseball player, a football player, their life is all
That's
that.
dope.
And sure, if you're going to do something, you should go all in it and do it the best you can. But I've had people come to me, going from middle school to high school, and they're like, I don't know if I'm going to play football. And I'm like, do you think you're going to play it in college? Like, do you think you're going to get a scholarship to go play in college? And they're like, no, probably not. I'm like, well, then you probably shouldn't play it. Because, I mean, we were talking in the gym the other day, and you were talking about your bench and how from football in high
Oh,
school,
yeah.
your shoulder is just not the same
Yeah.
because you used to
Well-
hit people with your shoulder.
Well,
It's
wow.
like
Yeah.
I have none of that
What's-
because
what-
I
okay,
quit sports by high
You're
school.
actually going down a very interesting path. So
Yeah, we-
I could go on about this a long time. And Coach Fisher, if you were happening to watch this, my first year teaching in Owensville. So first off, there's like 6 or 7 football coaches that coach Owensville Dutchman football. Like,
Yeah.
there's just a lot of people that are involved with it. But the community loves football. Like, that's just, as far as entertainment's concerned, that's what people want to watch. They don't want to go watch the baseball team, really. It's just not as entertaining.
Yeah.
I was a sports guy. I love to watch football. I'm different from you in the aspect that as far as entertainment that I consume, I do consume a lot of sports. So I know a lot about, even NBA, hockey, baseball, especially, and football, especially. I know a lot about those. I could have a very intelligent conversation with you about a lot of things. But my first year in Owensville, Coach Fisher came to me. He's like, dude, we have a assistant football coach position. Do you want to coach football? And then what you just talked about was the exact reason why I decided, like, no way, there's no way I want to do that. Because unlike baseball or unlike basketball, like what Clay said, his shoulder hurts. I had just watched, all the concussion videos with, what the NFL is going through, which is a whole different, conversation. But I ended up telling Fisher, I'm like, I don't feel comfortable sending, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old young men to go out and play football. I think it's a dangerous game. And I think there's a lot of people that have had, lingering effects because of that. And then what you just said was interesting because me and Fisher got to this huge argument, big argument. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to go out and try to get some real data. So I went out and I emailed, Facebook message, texted 25 different Dutchman football players that were within, that played football when I was in high school, whether they were a freshman or whether they were a freshman when I was a senior or whether they were a senior when I was a freshman. So there's basically a 7-year gap there that I took and, text 25 different football players. Out of those 25 football players, 24 of them got back to me and said that to this day, now that would have been, 7 to 8 years for some of them, 7 to 11 years, depending on how old they were when they were in school. To this day, they said that 24 out of the 25 said something to this day still hurts them that they attribute to playing football.
Yep.
Some of them were as crazy as I have anger issues because I had too many concussions and I don't know how to control it. Some of them were as simple as my thumb, it's got I feel it all the time. Something's wrong with my thumb because I broke it playing football.
Yeah.
Well, I tore my MCL, so that's pretty,
On the scale of what's risky, playing football in high school, in my opinion, is very risky because you could get something that affects you the rest of your life when you're 16 years old.
Yeah, I guess I definitely. Even baseball players.
Any sport you play.
If you're a good pitcher, right, and they play you too much at a young age.
Yeah, if you're a good pitcher as a young kid, you're never a good pitcher as an adult.
Sure, absolutely.
I think about stuff like that, and so that's why. And sometimes it's is it even worth it? Because, Ryan, that's what I was saying.
But you got to do something to fill your what do you at that age, and what are you going to use to fill your time that's productive?
Yeah,
because I don't think just going home playing video games all day is productive.
No, you should definitely put it into a skill that's going to actually affect your life.
Sure.
And that's why I look at it. Are you going to go to college for it? Because if you go to college for it, then you might have a chance of going pro for it. But if you don't, you should focus your interests somewhere else, somewhere that you actually want to do. And maybe if you don't know what you're doing,
I have to issue a challenge right now, Ryan.
Let's do it.
I'm going to issue you a challenge. I know you know Ryan Hampton. Ryan Hampton.
I kind of know the guy.
You know that guy pretty well. I know you do. But
he won't come on my freaking podcast though.
He won't come on?
No.
Really?
Why not?
That shocks me.
I don't know. He said
he's
would.
He's a very cool dude.
Yeah, he's great.
But so Ryan, I don't know how much you know about Ryan, but he's a very successful guy. First off,
I know he loves the Jets.
The Jets? He loves the Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals.
Really?
Yeah, he's an Arizona Cardinal fan.
Oh, he's a Jets fan.
Either way, they both suck.
He's a football fan. So, Ryan Hampton, if you're watching this, I'm going to speak on your behalf for a second. He's a football fan. I know he follows football every week. Yeah. So, he is, fans of different players and things like that.
I just follow context clues.
Right. It's not like he told me the Jets Cardinals fan.
Oh, okay.
I know for a fact he is.
Oh, okay. But, Gary Vaynerchuk wants to buy the Jets, and I thought I seen him share something about it. So
and he very well might, but he's a person that really keeps up with it, so he knows.
Sure.
But anyways, Ryan, despite being he's involved in a company where he does really well for himself, and he doesn't need to be a substitute teacher. But Ryan went and got a substitute teacher certificate and actually comes to our school and substitutes with the kids. So what you're talking about, well, I wholeheartedly agree with you. If it were a perfect scenario, all of these kids in high school would be thinking about their futures and how to shape their futures. Mm-hmm. You have to put yourself with what you were thinking and what your friends were thinking in high school. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm at the high school every single day. I see these kids. I talk to them every day. In a perfect world, you're right. They are thinking about that. But I can tell you what reality is.
I know what I was doing in high school, and it was not focusing on my future. Right. But I was in an aspect, but I didn't know what I didn't know. I was flipping cars at 16 years old, but I didn't know that I was flipping cars in a business aspect for things in my future. I was flipping them because I was trying to make some more money so I could get a nicer car. But there is a way to correlate it all with business,
right?
And there should have been something more focused on business and your future in high school to help structure kids like me who did not give a damn about high school at all and needed that structure. But I didn't play sports because I didn't fit in sports, and I didn't find sports as a importance in life because my parents weren't in sports either.
Right.
And even after high school, I'm like, thank God I didn't, because it saved me a lot of money, saved me a lot of energy, and it saved me a lot of time. And I got to focus more on business.
Did you try any sports at all, though? Like, have you at all?
Yeah.
I mean,
like
you were
middle
very-
school. I
you were
played
very-
baseball, soccer, basketball. Never played football.
But you were very into skateboarding for a
I
segment of
skateboarded
time,
it
for
too.
sure.
Yeah.
Which in my opinion,
Very
I would say
active
is
kid.
a very tough sport because
Yeah.
I watched Nick do it as a kid. I sucked at it. I tried to do it. It's freaking hard. Like there's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I look at Nick. I think he was one of the greatest athletes in our school at the time. But he didn't play sports either.
yeah,
He
Some of
wasn't
the
into
kids
it.
that I skateboarded with
Were great
were
athletes.
some of the best athletes, natural athletes I'd ever seen in my life.
I mean, Nick could
Balance,
dunk
baby.
it in high school, and how many kids on our high school basketball team could dunk? I
Yeah.
mean, none of them.
Zero.
Yeah,
None.
and
That's a
I
zero.
remember my friend Jimmy, who was just a couple years older
Yeah,
than
he
him.
was a great athlete too.
Dude could pick up anything. A frisbee, a football, a baseball. I seen him, he never golfed before. Grabbed a golf club and smacked this ball we were at Top Golf, just smacking him straight and like almost over the net in the back.
Yeah, I
And I'm
100%
like, what
believe
are you
that. Yeah.
doing, dude? Like
Some people just have it. Some people just
and
have
they're
it.
they're
really.
just very natural athletes.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like,
yeah, absolutely. And I can remember side note here, Nick Green's story. So Nick was my cousin growing up. He by marriage. My aunt married his dad. So that was like my step cousin, I guess, whatever. But anyways, I can remember I was in middle school. I was diehard baseball. I love baseball. It's like one of my favorite things on earth. But I was diehard baseball, and our team needed an extra guy one day. Like we were down. We needed a guy. So my dad calls Nick, and he's like, hey, can you play with us tonight? And Nick's like, I mean, I've never played baseball before, but sure. Nick comes out, and I was super excited because Nick has been better than me at everything in my entire life. I love Nick. He was like somebody I looked up to. We'd start lifting weights, and he was like getting way stronger, way faster than me. He was just natural, you know. He comes out to one baseball game, and I'm like super excited because I can show off a little bit like how good I am at this game that I've been practicing for so long. Nick comes out, and he's the best player on the team. He never played in his life. And I'm like,
You're
what?
like, then you're
what
like,
is
what am I
this?
doing here? You're
But
like,
then
why
I was
did I come out
I was
here?
like, dude, Nick, like, you should keep playing baseball. You're really good. But that guy did not have a competitive bone in his body. Like,
Yeah.
he was a great football player,
oh, he's got a competitive bone.
just not in
because-
sports.
Not in a sport where you have to compete with other people on your team and other teams in that aspect. He is like
Yeah,
he
he's
is.
competitive in different aspects, but
I'm
when
the
it came to
exact same
sport,
way.
yeah.
I'm
And
very
and
competitive,
honestly,
but if I'm playing a sport with someone and they're getting aggressive with me, I'm like, I don't care about you, man. Like I'm not going
Right.
to get aggressive back to you. Like I'm
Yeah.
doing this because I'm trying to better myself, and I want to see how good I can be when I'm doing it. And
I think the sporting community would benefit from having that attitude more often, especially in our area, because it's
Yeah.
not about being the next NFL running back, because you're not going to be. Like, let's be
Yeah.
real. Like, you should be supporting the people around you.
Yeah.
You should be having fun, getting fitness out of it.
I got a funny story.
which that's the part that's hard to control.
True.
It's like
It
it's
gets
hard
out-
to tell a young kid like, hey, we're just doing this for fun. You should actually be helping these kids on your team.
But
Actually,
see,
that's
around here though, is like sometimes it's not for fun. Like,
Well,
You're right.
and a lot of it is a lot of the parents push.
I
Yeah.
can tell
They
you
want
that's
to be something
why
that's
I
not.
quit basketball in high school or in middle school, because I was the only kid from Gerald that played basketball, and so whenever Gerald met Owensville,
Right.
I played basketball in 6th grade, and every kid was an Owensville kid, and I was the only kid that I didn't know any of them. I mean, I knew them
Yeah.
because I met them that year, but they weren't like. I mean, they were nice to me. They would pass me, and I wasn't the greatest player, but that was also my first year. They had all been playing together for years, and they played together really well.
Oh,
But they
yeah.
did not. Like I did not just.
You just weren't in with that
yeah,
group.
you didn't fit
I
the
wasn't.
mold.
Yeah, I didn't even feel like I was part of the team.
Yeah, and that's where you get into the political issues of, I mean, public school systems, any school system, even private schools, you're going to have that happen.
Yeah.
But that's also the world, too. Like,
Yeah.
you have to carve out your niche wherever you are. And that's why a lot of people, I mean, we see it. I mean, I can look at the high schoolers right now. I'm not going to say any kids' names, obviously, but I can look at high schoolers right now and say, I know what problems you're going to face after high school based on the way you carry yourself in your sports in high school.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well,
things
I mean,
can change
it's-
though too.
things can change, yeah. And,
I only
and,
say that
and you hope
because
for positive
from who I
change.
was in high school to who I am now are two totally different people.
Well, you should.
I
change
don't
every
think
day.
so. I
you
really-
should change all
Yeah.
the time.
I don't
like,
think so,
that should
Ryan.
be a thing.
I think the deep down things, yes, are the same. The deep down
Yeah, the
things.
deep down thing. I think you
No.
always had that, though.
Yeah, I do too.
And I still, to this
But I
day,
had to learn a lot of things the hard way because I was never taught it. But then
Right.
there's things that should be. That's what I'm also.
so that's your beef
You're-
with school. Your beef with school
Mm-hmm.
is, and I guess because I'm in the school system and I see how that works, it's so much easier said than done, man. That's why I say I really encourage you.
Why is there no social class? Like, why is there
social class? Like social media?
No, like why is there like this book called How to Win Friends and Influence People? It teaches you how to talk to people. I never knew how to talk to people.
Yeah.
Someone would come up and start a conversation with me, and they would compliment something that I had, and I'd be like, "Oh, thank you."
So
and I wouldn't had no reply, no nothing. And it's because nobody ever taught me to have
social
respond.
awareness, things like that.
No social skills. I was never taught any social skills.
How to listen to people. That's
how to
like
listen
that's
and
really
talk.
the
Yeah.
main thing is like listening first, so you can actually reply without.
Because
we're going down a very intellectual road here. My my answer to that, and from being in the school system, is that it's not the teacher's fault. A lot of people want to point blame at the teachers, and that's fine. A lot of people do. Yeah. That's just part of the job. Whatever.
Yeah, they don't get
really
to choose
care.
the classes.
They don't know. They don't know what it's like. But teachers, I don't get to choose exactly what I teach. Now I get to choose how I deliver it. Mm-hmm. So the way I deliver every day in class is, even if I'm going through crap, which everybody goes through stuff, we all do.
Yeah.
I am always overly positive. And some of my students hate it. They're like, man, this guy's hyped up every day. We listen to a mental performance daily podcast at the start of every single one of my class periods. Every single day, every single hour, we do that every single day. The kids, some of them they like it. Some of them like it, but they don't want to act like they like it. Mm-hmm. Some of them hate it, and some of them are very vocal about this guy's a joke, whatever, man. But what I will tell you,
some of them are jokes too.
Yeah, for
some
sure.
of the motivational ones. I used to listen to Andy Frisella. I thought the guy was great, and then it turns out he was just I heard he's just a major jerk to all his employees, everyone that works for him. And then I tried to sell some of his products, and then his whole business is just like a cult. And it was if you could only.
I mean, capitalism is. It's capitalism for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't sell his products in my store because he only that's his niche. He only lets you sell products out of S2 stores. And so I'm trying to offer them to our community, and I couldn't. And it's just this. All these other companies want you to sell, but he's like, no, you got to buy it through my products. And then I just heard sure, some of the motivational stuff is
good,
but also at the same time, I think you got to be a good person. I just don't follow. If you're not a good person, and you're trying to change people to be better people, I think it just avoids it. Yeah, it kind of avoids it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's all about perspective, but also I think some of the motivational stuff, it does focus on you. Sometimes you don't you don't have to focus on yourself. Some people do, so it kind of depends on what you're good at or what you pay attention to. But a lot of the motivational stuff, it's all about perception, where you're at in life and what you want to do. Because some people don't
and
what
you're willing to do.
other people. They just don't. If they're artistic or musically inclined, they just don't need it or have to have it in their life,
right?
Because they're not really trying to sell a business. They are the business.
Could there be someone say you that is learning music? Mm-hmm. There could be someone that there's a different motivation.
Yeah.
For you,
yeah.
a video that applies to you. Someone's motivation that they're trying to inspire you with is going to be different than what they try to inspire me with, or maybe Tyler or someone that's playing a sport.
Yeah,
sure.
Oh yeah.
And that's the problem with public school systems. One size doesn't fit all.
Not even.
The Owensville High School, there's no way that Owensville High School could have taught you everything you needed to know.
Yeah.
Because it's not possible.
Because we
don't have the manpower to do it. It's just not possible. And the last thing I was trying to get at there was that.
But if I failed, because even though I didn't fit in. Sorry to cut you off, Tyler.
No, you're good.
But if because it did not fit me, but it fit other people, it still reflected me and it made an impact on who I was, even though it was not fit for me. And I truly don't believe after middle school was fit for me anymore. That's I started doing my best in life when I finally completely got detached from school. And I tried it.
Yeah.
I made it through high school, but I had a hard time paying attention in class. I didn't care about the classes. When I hit college, I got the choice to take classes I wanted to take.
But you still had to take gen ed. You didn't have a choice on some of that stuff.
True. And I didn't care about them classes.
100%.
The reason I dropped out of college is because I kept having to take math classes.
Oh,
yeah. And I'm screw this crap. I'm done. I'll go find a way to make money somewhere else.
You know what we're about to go down? We're about to go down the path of your capacity to learn. Yes. That's what school is about. It's about your capacity to learn.
Sure, but if I failed high school, okay, so maybe I passed.
The reason why you learn the scientific method and you learn how to solve two-step equations is not because in the gym and in the work that you do, you're doing that all the time. You're just building problem-solving skills. And the better you get at problem-solving skills, the better you're going to get at solving any other random problem that pops up.
But why can't those the stuff that I'm learning, the problem-solving skills that I'm learning, why couldn't
apply
that
to what
be,
you actually want to do?
Yes.
Because we don't have enough teachers. We don't have
feeling-
enough
Right,
niche.
but they're forcing me.
It's general education.
In a sense, they're forcing me. They're not forcing me, but socially, they're forcing me because if
No, they're forcing you because the law says that you have to go
out at a certain age.
Yeah, you can drop out and start a
But you have
business.
to go until that age.
Yes, but if I would have dropped out at 16 and went and got
What's
my
that path
GED,
look like though?
it could have looked really good if I had.
It could have, but how many people at that age are mature enough
You're right.
and can handle themselves enough to actually do? I can tell you that I don't see many success
But what
stories.
if there was a second? There needs to be a secondary position,
like option?
a secondary option where they're like, we have this option for you guys. That if you want to drop out now, you can go join a college.
That was
and-
more socially accepted because right now
because-
it's not socially accepted. They think if you drop out of high school, like you're a deadbeat. Like that's what the perception.
But if I was
is.
going up from, because I always had interest in business and flipping things. I mean, even when I was a kid, I was like setting up little stores and stuff and like selling stuff. I mean, I always had interest in it. So start telling me that. I mean, when I was a kid, basically a business wasn't even in my. People were just telling me like that's for rich people and wealthy people. You're not going to be able to own a business like that's. You're poor and you do poor people things like work on cars. You work for the guy that owns the buy shop. Some people get taught that they can.
Things are changing though.
They are changing with the
They're
internet and
completely
stuff.
changing where you
Yes.
can do that. Where you can reach way more people. You can make an online
The
website.
beauty of the internet.
You don't
Right.
have to have a store.
Well,
you don't have
mean,
to
you
have a
can
place
look
to
at-
go to.
You can look at
know.
employment rates around or people that are looking for hiring. People are realizing that I don't need to go work a 9 to 5 at this place because I can make my own. Casey Earhart is a perfect example of that. Like he didn't. I mean, he was a manager at Moto Mart Union for a while. Then he took a tech position at the school, and he was great at both places. Like he was very valued at Moto Mart. He was very valued at the school. Both places would have loved to have had him, but at the same time, he makes more money and he does a better job, and he's doing something he likes to do on his own. He doesn't need those places anymore. And like more and more people are finding out that. Like I also know I could leave the school tomorrow and I could go get a job where I make more money than what I'm doing now. I had a job before that I made more money.
Yeah.
Like,
But I could have dropped out at 16 and started working on cars. Like I could have went to school
Sure,
for auto body
100%.
because I was going home.
I think you're an
Watching
exception to the rule though, Ryan.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Not. I don't think. That's why I'm saying I
But
would
you have-
love
but
for
in
you
the
to get
business
your. You should get
industry-
your substitute certificate. That's all I'm saying.
I couldn't do it, dude.
Exactly.
Why? Why not?
Exactly.
You have the great dude. Kids would
Because I would be
gravitate towards
sitting
you.
there and I'd be like, "Do you even want to learn this?" And they're like, "No, I hate it." I'd be like, "You should drop out." That's what I'd be telling them.
No.
I'd be like, "You ever thought about dropping out?"
Okay,
You're
don't
16,
put that
right?
on your
You can get
application.
out of
Yeah,
here.
Don't put
don't
that
do
on
that,
your
Ryan.
I think if you
Actually,
get a
don't
G,
ever
I
do
think
that,
if you
Ryan.
drop
It is
out
a bad
now-
decision.
Dude, I can tell you right now, I've said this a million times. If I have a kid and at 16 years old, he was like, "Dad, I want to start working. I don't like
Sure.
school." I'd be like, "Oh, hey, let's go drop out tomorrow. Let's get you a job." I'll do
Sure,
that.
sure.
No
100%.
business plan or nothing. Just
I
all
tell-
right, drop
so-
out, bro.
Okay,
Like, you're
so
on your
Ryan,
own.
I would love for you to sit in on one of my classes sometimes because I constantly tell my students that like you don't have to go to college. Like you don't have to. You can go to work right after high school, and that's
Yeah.
perfectly fine. I think when we were in high school,
there's a
There was a
misconception.
misconception that you had to go to college,
Yeah.
and you don't.
Still is though.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
The reason this is something I'm big on right now.
But that's because that's
Well,
what the
I like
public
lost friends because I like dropped out of college. Like I had some friends I was like, well, obviously you're not my friend. Like they, thought I was like an idiot.
Yeah.
They're like, you're stupid.
All my friends are dropouts anyways.
But like, well, I failed college because I just didn't go to class. I had a 3.5, but I didn't go to class. If you miss 3 classes, you fail. So it's not that I was dumb. I was
Right.
just bored. I literally
No,
sat,
Clay isn't-
I literally just
Yes.
sat in class.
Yes.
You know,
Clay
and
is-
like, but like, that's why school's not for me because we've had this conversation before.
Those
Like,
kids that
I don't
can't
really-
focus in class and do good in class, is it because they're bored? That's why I
Sure,
can
no,
do
no,
good in
well,
school.
so like for me
sure.
personally, I'm really good at memorizing things fast. So it's really not about my intelligence.
really
but the
helps
ways
playing guitar. By the way,
the way yeah. But the way school works is, they teach you, a couple chapters or so, and then you take a test on it.
Yeah.
They
got
teach you a certain
homework,
part, then you take a
quizzes,
test.
then the test.
So my brain, it's easy for me to read, and once I physically do it, myself, I have it. It's stuck.
Yep.
And then I may not remember it 5 years later,
Yeah.
But by test
But that's
time,
all knowledge, right?
I remember it, and
100%.
it's there. But I'm really good at taking tests, and I'm really good at talking to people. But I mean, I'm not that much smarter than most people. Like even calculus and math.
No, I would
it was-
disagree on that, Clay. I think as far as like
Okay, I'll take it.
No,
Tyler.
I think both of you guys are definitely smarter than like the average people because I see like in the class that you guys passed. Like in the classroom, I mean,
Cut that
I
part.
know the people that are. That's why I think it'd be so interesting to see if you were to get in the school setting, even as a substitute, and do it like once or twice a year. Like if you did it once or twice a year, I think you'd have a really good understanding of what like being that age again is like from a different perspective. Because it's way different for me.
I'm
Like,
trying to impact the world in a different place, and I think that is not the place to do it.
and that's perfectly fine.
I think that's why a lot of my TikTok videos, you'll see me like I started doing like a small business tip of the day, and I think that stuff like that's going to impact humanity more than sitting in on school.
But not everybody
Unless-
can.
Sitting in front, like talking to 70 young people a day and like being an immediate impact of their life.
Come on, man.
Well, I think so.
And I'm not saying that you have to do. I'm just saying like if you want
I
some
think
true
because
perspective
I think
on what
the
it
place
looks like.
they're learning it from. Yeah, I think so. I think actually TikTok might be better than.
Oh,
in a
you're
school
wrong,
setting.
man. Like, I don't know what to tell you other than we'll just have to agree to disagree on that.
And here, let me. This
because
is the reason I
you,
say.
you also have to agree with me on the fact that sitting down face to face with somebody is a whole different experience than seeing somebody on
100%.
TikTok, right?
Yes.
So, like, do you think that people that would see your TikTok are going to have a different connection to you than the people that walk into my classroom every single day and talk to me face to face?
I think that I have. If the kids in the high school that are interested in business, and I have some kids in high school that like all my videos.
Absolutely.
I think I have more of an impact on them talking to them through TikTok because that is a place of interest for them. And so they can come and watch me there versus in school, they're already bored. They've been going to school now for 10, 11, 12 years, however long. They're in class. They don't even want to be there. I mean, I showed up to school drunk. I mean, I was tired and sleeping in the back of the thing and hung over in school because I didn't want to be there. It didn't matter who showed up. It could have been a business owner that showed up trying to tell me to drop out of school and to do all these things better with my life. I wanted to pay attention because in school I didn't even care. I was
shut off.
I was shut off. I had just given up. I was just there, just floating. And that's
So,
why.
okay,
But
then I guess
why?
my-
Like, were you,
but
like,
then my next
because I
question is, Ryan,
had to be there.
right, I totally
Yeah.
get what you're saying, and I see those kids every single day. But
My mom wouldn't let me drop out.
Right, but the avenue that I take with that student is to try to connect with them, find out what they do like,
Yeah.
and try to help push them towards that. Now, but
That is
what
great of
you're-
you, too.
What you're saying though, like the alternative to what you're saying is not a
It's
good
not
outcome.
it's not a good
Like
idea.
if you just took all those kids and said, all right, if it was more socially acceptable to just like not do anything at all,
I think
there's
I
a
think
percentage of
they
people
need-
that follow your TikTok for sure, but there's a bigger percentage of high schoolers that don't even have a cell phone,
Yeah.
or don't get on the internet at all.
Well, I think what I'm trying to get at here is like I play video games to numb the time.
Sure.
I
We all
don't.
do.
I actually
We all
don't
do.
like
I
video
did too.
games. I don't
Yeah.
like video games.
Oh, I do. I love them
You love them, okay?
because I think it's good to escape reality every now and then.
Sure, that's why I drink, but I don't like drinking either.
Well, drinking is worse than video games.
I drink on the weekends to disconnect from life, but it's only because like by the time Friday night comes around, I can't keep doing the gym grind or I can't keep doing the rental grind, so I have to disconnect from it. But what I
Yeah.
start to learn is that I love to work. So right now, this is technically working in a way. I'm putting in the time.
Oh yeah.
But I enjoy it, right? So I find now I've taught myself to find things that benefit my life because I think that's much more productive than I played video games for like 5 hours yesterday. I remember laughing. I remember having a great time, but I don't remember looking back. Like yesterday's gone. Because I had headphones in, I was just freaking staring at the screen.
Right, and I mean,
you just drop in, shoot someone, maybe get a dub, and then or die. And then it's like, where are we dropping? Where are we dropping? And it's just repeat. It's literally insanity. But now I learned, like the other day, I bought a box. There was a guy in town. He bought a auto shop, and I bought every sensor from him. And like I have plenty of things.
Oh
to
yeah,
do.
yeah, and you're reselling them, right? I think I saw
Yeah, I'm
that.
just reselling them. Just in
Right.
my free time. Instead of sitting there watching TV or looking on TikTok, now I'm just picking up the sensor, scanning it.
And if that
listing
is
on
something
eBay.
that you enjoy, then that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's
I
all
think
about like
people
what
need
you,
other things to do.
Yeah,
Sure.
of course.
Dude, no one's
but
gonna
also
disagree with
like,
you on that.
Forcing them to
see,
sit
a lot of your
and do
stuff.
something they don't want to do, like school.
But
I
Give
get
them
that.
let's give them more alternatives.
But you have
Why
to,
focus so much energy
But how
on
do we give them the alternatives, Ryan?
start new programs?
Okay,
what?
so how?
I
don't disagree.
Specifically.
Okay, I don't
That's a good
disagree.
question. Yeah.
Like if we can just have all. Okay, so this actually
the
goes.
skate park in
we've
Owensville,
just
that's a good
also
one.
count. We've just circled all the way back to why would we rather live in the city as a parent?
Oh,
now,
that's how the conversation
Yeah,
started.
so
My goodness.
as
we
a
got
parent-
off the rails bad.
my
Gosh, guys, we're in it a bit. We'll
There's
go.
probably
We're
like
good.
an
We're good.
hour that you're just not going to use.
Just
Just cutting each other off.
So back to the city. I just don't
But
like
the city thing. Let me finish what I was going to say about this an hour ago. But what me and my wife would say now that we have 2 kids. So my and it was interesting because I was actually talking to Jake Henson and Brandon Glenn last night playing games about this exact thing, same thing. But the reason why I would I would want to be in the city. Like if I wanted to live in Columbia, the reason why I would want to live there is so that my kids had options to do things that they never had options to do here.
True.
So for example, whenever I was a kid, I wanted to play hockey so bad. Like that was something that was really interesting to me, and I wanted to do it, but I didn't have the means to do it.
Yep.
And my parents told me all the time, like, Tyler, we live in Owensville, Missouri. It's just not going to happen. Like, to live the life that you're talking about living, we would be on the road all the time driving places, and you would be at rinks, and then you would be driving back home and trying to do your schoolwork and things like that. So, like, it wasn't really a reality for me. So for my kids, like, maybe my kid really wants to be involved in music. Well, there's one guy that teaches guitar in town. I don't know anyone that actually teaches drums. I don't know anyone.
No.
There's a couple piano teachers. But, like, if you want to do something that's niche like that, you got to be in a city.
Yeah.
So I subbed at places like Rockbridge in Columbia, Hickman in Columbia, Battle in Columbia. Those schools have tons of kids. The downside is if my kid wanted to play baseball, genetically, my kid just might not be good enough to actually make the baseball team there. He might miss out on that experience because he just might not be good enough.
Yeah.
But if my kid wanted to do something really niche, like I want to take, ballroom dancing class, like he could actually do that
Yeah,
there.
you're right.
He can't do it here.
There is those. You're right. There. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why
great
that would be
point.
why
So
we live
like
in the city.
Great
piggybacking
point.
off of that, that is also what I see. Like I lived in St. Peter's for a while. I lived in Florissant for a while. Where else? St. Charles, St. Peter's, kind of the same thing. But that's
All
what
St. Louis.
That's what I've noticed though. Is like when you're younger, it's like if you're a sports person, like or kind of like my family, like your sports family, we play everything. I'll make a drinking game, anything. I will beat you at it. I am super competitive. I don't care if there's no point to it. I'm gonna win because there's no point, so I might as well win. Like I'm not gonna sit here and not have fun and try to beat you. Like I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah.
So like that's where
what makes it fun.
That's where I
Right.
come from. But in the city, it's like they'll do that, but they'll kind of specialize. Like, hey, he's better at soccer, or he loves soccer. So then you can start doing soccer summer leagues. You can start you can pay more. Like if you have a lot of money.
The
Pay
ability
more
to
to have
be
your
able
kid in a better league, which he gets better. He learns faster. Then he excels way faster.
Yep.
By the time he's in high school, there's not much for him to learn. He just needs to get more physical and grow. So it's like
True.
some of those kids, you can focus them faster and get them to a certain point faster instead of like me. I love playing everything. So when I got to high school, I quit playing basketball and baseball because I'm not as good at them. I love them still so much, but
We
at the
should
end
have
of the
done
day,
the top 5 draft pick for city versus country thing.
Oh, okay.
Not now.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
gonna
missed
put that whole segment
Yeah.
up on the city side. The city got a point on that one.
The city
Yeah.
gets a point
City-
on
I'm
just-
giving the city a point
Right.
on that one
And
because that is great.
What you're advocating for, you want more specialized. You want business classes that are going to teach you how to be an entrepreneur at
Well,
that
it's a big
age.
reason-
That is available at Rockbridge. That's
Yeah.
not available at Owensville because we don't have the funding, we don't have the manpower, we don't have the amount of kids that what you want to do. How many kids are doing exactly what you're doing right now that were in your class?
Yeah.
How many kids are doing that?
I don't know.
What, maybe 2, maybe 3?
I don't know.
You can't pay a teacher
I
a
don't know if I know
salary to
any of
teach
them.
3 kids.
I don't know anybody that's in business that's my age.
Exactly. And
Out
you
of my
can't.
grade. I
you
wish I
can't.
did so I could reach out to them.
Right, but what you're
Well, I
talking
mean-
about,
oh, yeah.
what are you gonna do? You're gonna find a way to pay
Start
a
their own
teacher,
business, Clay. I don't know what
40
you got in
grand a
mind.
year to just teach one kid? That's not feasible. It's
Yeah.
not reasonable. Not here.
Poor kid though. I just play my own violin. over
Yeah.
here.
No, the kid loses out 100%.
Yeah.
That's where you get more exposure in a city. That's
Yeah,
where the
you're
difference
totally
is.
right.
Oh yeah.
And that's
Now,
why I'm a big
what
advocate
the-
of the skate park. And I say that because how you wanted to play hockey and you didn't have it, you had the option to play baseball because you liked baseball.
Right.
But I wanted to play some other sports. I really wanted to play football actually growing up. But my mom and dad, they both worked in the Washington area, got off late, And so by the time and my parents are older too. My parents had me at 40. So when they got off, they didn't want to have to get off and drive from Gerald over to Owensville and drop me off. And then practice was an hour. So they're like, do we drive back to Gerald? By the time we get to Gerald, we basically got to come back to Owensville. Or do we just sit out in the parking lot at once or twice a week? They didn't want to do that. Plus, my mom was like, this little frail kid's going to get every limb blown off of him.
Yeah.
So she didn't want to see me do it.
She might have did you a favor, honestly.
She definitely did me a favor. Thank you, Mom. I appreciate it now. It just took 15 years to come back around. But, like that's why I'm a big advocate of skate park, because there's a lot of people like Nick Green and myself and a large majority of rural communities that are poor, because we're all poor. And a lot of these families are moving in not because they like Owensville, because
they got a job at LSC.
You got a job at a manufacturing plant 100%. In that community. And this is rural communities all over the world, but in Owensville, Missouri, I'm really a big advocate on it. Because, those kids, their parents are working 12 hours a day. It's single moms, single dads. They don't have time to take them to practice. But all you got to do is buy them a skateboard for their birthday or for Christmas, and then they got to find a way to walk across town and skateboard there, and it gives them a physical thing to do that keeps them out of trouble. Now, like back in my day, there was me, Nick Green, Jimmy, like all the kids that skateboarded, they were good kids, and most of them actually turned out really good because they were actually focusing on building skills and staying active every day. Now, there was the kids that didn't skateboard at all that hung out with those kids because their parents also didn't care what they did because they were working 12 hours a day. So the skateboarders got thrown in the mix with them all. But you give the skateboarders a place to go, and you're going to start seeing that they're at the skate park every day. And like I remember going to places, skate parks, and just like random like spots that we would go, and it would just have like a ledge that dropped off, and we'd do tricks off of it. We would take brooms there, hoses there. We'd wipe it down, clean it off.
Oh yeah, the winter's two-step.
Yeah, exactly. Like we would clean all the grass out of it, and we'd clean it up, and we'd make the place look nicer just so we could skate it. Because there can't be no gravel. You're going to hit the bang and stuff.
What's that auto shop that's kind of over there at the end of? It's kind of connected to the senior center. There's a big drop off. Nick was always skating there.
It was you're thinking of it was on that dead end road.
No, it's like right across from. There's a little church over there. It's really close to the Owensville Community Theater. That body shop that's right there across from Winters. The back, not the front of Winters. There's the back area of Winters.
Seagulls?
Oh, no, it's Seagulls.
Yeah, I think they used to call it Stinkies. They used to call it the Stinkies drop.
A lot of people would go there and skate. They would try to jump that into the road.
Yeah.
That was a pretty big jump.
Yeah, you know how dangerous that was?
That was a big jump.
Because it was a building.
God, I wish I
could
remember the
runway was you ran down the road through the parking lot. The guy that
Schneider's, is that what's called?
Schneider's drop.
Oh. Yeah, Schneider's
drop. But now the guy that owns the vet place in town owns it. The vet in town owns it. What's his name?
Vince?
Vince owns it.
Oh,
He's a
really?
car guy. Yeah,
I didn't know
like
that.
a big thing. Now they do like burnouts and stuff in front of it. Oh. It's funny because I got into cars and stuff. They were always doing burnouts there, and I'm standing on that ledge. And I'm like, I remember skating this as a kid, and here I am now doing burnouts.
Right,
still tearing stuff up, stuff they frown on. But
some things don't change.
But yeah, we didn't tear nothing up. Extremely dangerous spot though. It was a building blocking the view of the road.
And then a road.
Yeah,
so you couldn't see a car coming.
Yeah, we're just coming off of like a 4-foot drop in a skateboard, full motion. If a car was coming, we would just get smoked. Yeah. I think someone stood there most of the time and was like, no, we're good. You're good. Go.
See, back then, I wasn't always with Nick. I was with Nick a lot, but I wasn't always with Nick. But if I was with Nick, I had this, dude, I still have it. It's this big, gaudy VHS video camera. I would like sit on my butt on a skateboard because I couldn't freaking ride the thing. Yeah. But I would just videotape Nick with this VHS video camera.
And look at you, you're still doing stuff like that.
Yeah, true.
I used to do the same thing.
I love doing that for sure.
I used to do the same thing. I remember I bought like some cameras and stuff. I used to set them up myself, and I liked the editing, and I like doing it all. And it was crazy how it was just kind of like, oh, that's kind of silly. I was never gonna go pro. Like, why was I videotaping myself? I just really enjoyed. But I enjoyed.
But you
not
learned a
only
lot of skills doing that too.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed because creating is like an art. You know, like it is like. There's like that for like an artist that's creating a new sculpture or something. There's like that part of your brain that you're like developing and working on something. That's why I enjoy it. Like outside of skateboarding, I enjoy coming in and editing the videos on my computer after I was skateboarding. You know, and so like I've always had that in me. I always had that like drive to want to do stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't want to go home and watch TV. I never cared about it. I never watched like Dances with the Stars and stuff like that. Like everybody's like, "Did you see that episode?" I'm like, "No, I didn't see that. I didn't care about it."
But do your parents do that? So like it depends on how you're brought up, you know?
No, my parents are TV's watchers.
Oh, they are?
I will say.
So do you think that's probably why? You're like,
I'm
not
the
gonna
black
sit here
sheep
and
of
watch.
the family for sure. But I will say, like in the bloodline of the Wilsons, we are.
Wow, we're getting deep here.
TV watchers?
We're like, yeah, it's what's all like. My grandpa was a hustler. Like,
What's the show?
Huh?
What is it? Jeopardy? What is it? Wheel of Fortune? What, Survivor?
Like what they watch?
Survivor
Yeah,
would
there's
be
gotta-
my
there's gotta
house.
be
Oh
one
my
that
God.
they
my
like.
dad watched. My dad watched a lot of like
Discovery.
Cowboys and Indians.
Yeah.
Growing up, that was like his thing.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of that with him.
John Wayne movies.
Yeah, John Wayne is huge. But I will say, like, my parents are very hard workers. They are hard workers, but they should have put their hard work into something that made them money. Because that was a problem. They put their stuff into stuff like horses.
But see,
and it costs them money.
but also like you have to
Yeah,
look
I
at it
never
like
understood horses.
so like perfect example like you guys said earlier. That's why I'm here. I'm from Maryland. Like so, my mom got a job promotion from LSC. It used to be custom printing, and they moved her out here with my dad because he worked there. And like my dad, he worked for his grandparents at a laundromat, and he worked there at LSC. And then sometimes he would bartend. But like he said, he's like printing. It's everywhere: books, education books, newspapers. Like at the time he got into it, he got paid very well. And to him, he's like, "This is a good job." He's like, "I have security. You know, I got insurance,
Safe.
So like hindsight, another 30 years, you know, it's printing's dying. You know, people have tablets. It's not as. I mean, it's still very huge, but
It's different now, though.
it's
for sure.
completely
Sure
different.
is.
Yeah, like
It would be a
it's
scary business to go into.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be buying no printing
Well,
business.
I don't know how much you guys know about like the whole. Well, for one, the road that got blocked off over there by LC. I don't know if you know about that whole.
Let's
story.
talk about it. Let's talk about
Well,
that
how much
whole...
do you know about it?
No, I know very minimal. I know that somehow through a connection,
Okay.
and I think the people that are planning it, these guys, they're way above us on like they're thinking way more ahead in life. I think.
Nope.
The people.
You don't
Who
think
are
so?
you talking about? Are you talking
No.
about the,
I
the
think-
city council? Are you talking about the mayor? Are you
I'm
talking about
talking
LC?
everyone, and I'm talking John Paul Quick, who was involved in it too, right?
Okay, so you know some about them for sure. Yeah.
I know, and I don't know John Paul Quick. If you ever listen to this, I want you on the podcast. Like
John
I want
Paul?
that. I
John
want him
Paul?
on here. I never
Well, we
met the
know
dude.
John Paul.
Yeah, I
We
know.
work with him out at Red Oak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you
we-
ever talked to him before?
Never talked to him. He could walk in my house right now, and I
wouldn't know
still
who he is.
Wouldn't know he is?
Nope.
Oh.
Huh.
No, never met him. I would love to because I love meeting people like that because I love the way they think, right? And that's the way I want to think. And that's the way I want to plan things out. And so,
But what do you want? Do you just want to have a big business? Do you want to make a lot of money or like?
Yeah, what's your goal, Ryan?
See, like I don't have.
tables
a,
are turning
like-
here. What do
Yeah.
you want?
I said it. I've said it
that's
a
the
million
real
times
question.
on this podcast. I'm going corporation. That's where I'm headed in life. That's why you don't just see me sitting at the desk at the gym. That's
Right.
why
You're always
I'm-
doing stuff.
But
That's
that's
why I'm
like,
hustling
but
so
you
hard.
you want like residual
Corporation,
income that you can have other people take care of it, and you don't have to be there 100%.
No.
Or you just want to
Yeah, I
make a
don't see you
larger
being a
bulk of
hands-off
money.
guy. You want to be active.
I want to be active, but I want
But
to
you
have...
also want to do other things. So if you're
I
That's
think
why-
if you were
corporation,
pigeonholed into
can
one
do
thing, you would
that.
get bored.
100% I would. And that's where corporation idea came into play. Well, it's a list of reasons why. But a corporation, let's leave the financial side out of it for right now.
Okay.
Let's just talk about the
What
purpose.
a corporation means.
Or the reason for me wanting to go into
Okay.
it, the purpose for me wanting to go into it. One is because of the fulfillment it will give me in life. Because I don't like doing the same thing. If I had to work in a body shop, and I could do it if I had to,
And you were
but-
good at it.
Yeah, I was, and like it's a very honorable living. It's a great way to make a life.
It's just not for you.
It's not for me because I like to do different things all the time. Like I have this podcast, I have rental properties, I have the gym, I have billboards. I'm flipping those sensors on the side. I'm flipping cars all the time on the sides. I'm always looking into new stuff. Like
You just have an entrepreneurial outlook.
yeah, I'm very hungry and I enjoy learning new things. I always used to tell people if I could work a new job every 3 months, I would. Because I love doing different things. I love learning and I
Yeah.
love doing different things. And it's crazy because I hated school. But it was because I didn't learn the things I wanted to.
You didn't like being told what to do.
I like to learn things that I have interest in, for sure.
Right.
And so
Fair enough.
that's a big reason why and I like the freedom, right? I like
Right.
the freedom and the power. And I'm not saying like power, like I want to be Hitler and control everybody.
Well, that's
but,
good.
Yeah.
I don't know if he knew he wanted to do that either. I think it just kind of.
I had to make sure everybody knew that. I'm not trying to be Hitler. This is not like I'm trying to be a dictator.
Yes. Sure.
But but like, you know, I wanted to go into my own business because I wanted the freedom. Because the other night I was working on the studio. At my gym, I'm redoing the studio in there. We did a bunch of mud work, and I was repainting it. And if I was working a 9-to-5 job,
You would be able to do that.
I wouldn't be able. Well, let's say that was my 9-to-5 job. Like, let's say that I worked for the fitness parlor. I was their maintenance guy, and they're like, "Hey, we want you to come in and we want you to maintenance everything Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m." So I got to go in, and if painting doesn't get done by 5 o'clock, I clean up, I finish everything up, wrap it up, go home. Next day, I start over again. I hate that. I like, because I had in my mind, I'm like, I got a podcast tomorrow. And I gotta go work on a rental property tomorrow. So let's just grind this out, Ryan. Like let's just finish this out. So I worked till 11 o'clock at night. But if it was a 9-to-5, I wouldn't be able to do that. And I cannot. I like when the ball's rolling. Let's keep it moving. Because in an 8-hour workday, in a body shop, I watched it. When I used to get there 7 a.m., production didn't actually get started till 8. People, it's like warming up the bones for everybody. Like they're getting stuff going, they're prepping everything, they're cleaning their stuff, finding the tools that they need. And then same thing, end of the day, if I ended at 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you're cleaning up, you're wrapping stuff up, you're getting stuff ready to go because at 4 o'clock, you want to get out of there. But, you know, and it's just 2 hours wasted. Let's just finish it out. So I like that, right? I like the freedom. Whenever I bought the gym, I was working 23-hour days every other day because I was hungry and I wanted to work. So why quit? Because I'll come home and I'll just lay in bed, wide-eyed, I want to get up there. I want to paint the walls.
100%. I have a little bit of that in me as well, but I will say the thing. It's so funny because I remember when we left the podcast here the first time. I was like, dude, I remember feeling the way Ryan feels because that's the way I felt back in like the mob days. I don't know if you know about the mob, but the mob's a whole different story. But
they probably don't, but I definitely do.
That is how I felt about during those days, but. Like, I can't live that life anymore because I have a wife and I have 2 kids. Like, it's cool it's so cool for me to, like, watch the things you're doing because I'm like, dude, I get that. I get the idea of, like, I'm just going to grind this out and get it done. Because that's how I was. That's who I could work 20 straight hours and, like, as long as it's what I want to do, I'm going to get it done.
It came with some sacrifices.
Right. But when you start, I will say that be careful for whenever you're like ready to like have a family and settle down because things will change. Like that's something.
That's where the sacrifices came, Tyler. I've lost.
Right, you've lost that piece of it.
I've lost people in my lives because I chose to go this path.
Right.
Rather than because I was with someone that wanted to do the 9-to-5 path.
Right.
And I was
it just didn't fit you.
I was pulling myself this way because I just was letting myself be pulled to where I felt like I need to be pulled in life. And what it was doing, it was pulling me away from them other people. And that's why that's why I started this podcast, to find people that I connect with and correlate with.
Right.
And like, you know, if someone can't think the way I think, it just, they'll stress out to the end of the world and it'll just destroy a relationship because I'll go on a bank account down to $10 from $100,000 to make something happen. I'm not scared to do it. And I'm willing to go broke and do it all over again just to make my dreams happen.
But it's only impacting you. The part where it gets hard is whenever you put other people in the mix.
That's the trap.
Yeah.
That's what they call the trap. Yeah. Because people have kids. That's like what if you read a book about like chasing your own dreams and doing stuff like that, they tell you like that's why schools teach you to be good employees because they want you to get a good job, work 9 to 5, have kids, buy a house, buy a boat, because they want you to fear starting your own business and starting your own things. They want to keep you in that position. And if you have a house and a family and kids and cars, you're not going to quit that job and go compete against them.
Because you can't. Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
well,
you're
you
locked
can.
in.
But
there's the fear holding you back.
No, it's not a plausible thing. If everybody did that and had their own business, who would work for you?
Right.
Yeah, you're right. We need them both.
There has to be both.
We need them both. You're 100% right.
And also, some people, like, I'm not like, obviously, I need money. I like money. I DJ because I get money. Mm-hmm. But I don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't care. It's not a worry to me. I also don't have kids.
Yeah.
But, like, at the end of the day, like you said, I'll be fine. I'll be able to get another job. I'll be able to do whatever I have to do. Mm-hmm. But, like, it's not the last thing I'm thinking about. Like, I'm not thinking about like making my bills or
Yeah.
it does not a worry to me. Like, even if I was homeless on the street, like I'd go live in the woods in a shack and I'd be fine.
Yeah,
I'd be
I'm
fine with
good.
that. Not interacting with anybody and playing my guitar all day. I could be fine with that.
Yeah, Clay.
Yeah.
Clay could definitely do that.
But as you guys know, though, like
But there's nothing wrong with that.
I love talking to people.
Yeah.
I love like what you said.
too, man.
I love like competing against people. I love doing
Yeah.
different things. I love learning new things.
Yeah.
Like that's why. I mean, I'm here now.
Yeah.
Like I was in the city. I had a lot better job in the city.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So, but also correlation between how much I'm going to pay there and what I'm going to do there. Like, I honestly kind of like just being a minion sometimes. Like
Sure.
when I'm the boss and no, I mean, I'm a little bit more strict than most people, but like, I'm not your friend. I'm here to work.
Yep.
I'm here to teach you. I'm here to make sure you know what you're doing and you have all the tools you need to do to get the job done. We're not hanging out later. We're not doing anything later. I'll bet you. I'll make a bet so you work harder and faster so we can get out of here. But like, sometimes it's nice when you just clock in and you're just like, hey,
Oh,
I have
100%,
this
The
yeah.
stress
job.
factor on it.
I go
Oh, yeah,
home.
you have a lot more stress than a normal person carries. I guarantee you do.
but
Yeah.
it allows
Well,
me
because
to
it's on you a lot.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
You're the
what's-
man.
Let's not get into some other. Let's finish out the corporation thing, and then I would love
Okay.
to go back
Yeah,
to
go back.
some of the development in Owensville. Some
Yes,
of the
we
stuff,
should
because
go to
that's
that
where it
for
originally
sure.
started. So we're gonna run through this real quick.
Go through it.
So the freedom,
We go down
right?
some rabbit
So the
holes here.
freedom. Yeah, I know. I think we are having a couple of drinks. It's a Friday night, and
Yeah.
we're all on vacation right
Yeah.
now for
Right,
Christmas.
yep.
So having some drinks, that's perfectly fine. So there's a freedom aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know, where I have the freedom, but that you
Well,
get that in
that's
small
a
business.
financial freedom, though. That is a financial freedom.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you get that in small business, right? So like that,
Yeah.
you can have that in small business perfectly fine. So like people are like, why would you have a corporation? But the thing with me is I don't want to do the same thing every single day. And so like with my small business right now, I enjoy working on the building. I also enjoy working with the customers. I also enjoy doing the accounting and the bookkeeping. I also enjoy all the I love marketing. I'm obsessed with it right now. I love that aspect of it. I love the personal relations side of it. I love every part of business. But the problem is like right now for my marketing, I'm trying to do advertising every single day, social media advertising every single day. It's a really important thing to me. I think it is really important in a business, small or large. It's very important. But the problem is in small business, there's not enough funds there to do everything to make a business run properly the way I want to do it, to do everything that I want to do to make my life fulfilling, unless I just want to work myself to death, right? And it's just not plausible. I can't work till I'm 60, 70, 80 years old and making TikToks and videos and pictures every single day, plus doing everything else. Like I couldn't, like I already delegate the office work. I pay a manager to run the office. You know, if I had to do that, plus make the ads, plus work on everything else, I couldn't do it.
Right.
Right. And so you gotta, in a small business, there's not enough funds, but in a corporation where you can make more products and sell it to more people, right? Because my business, where I'm falling short now is I can only reach with our community. I can't sell a gym membership to somebody in St. Louis. Maybe I could, but I have to be a really good salesman to do it, and I'm not going to sell a lot of it. It's just not
feasible.
It's not feasible.
It's
at
not
all.
feasible.
Yeah.
And so if I own a corporation that I could sell a product to the entire world, okay, so now I can have a warehouse where I'm making thousands and thousands of product a day, and I can have a marketing team that I work with. I have a sales team I work with. I have a CEO team that I work with, CFO. I have a factory with all these different workers in it, general managers, district managers. I have regional managers. I have all these people all the way down from the very top at the CEO, treasuries, presidents, very top, all the way down to janitors. And I want that. I want to work with a marketing team one day. I want to work with a sales team one day. I want to go out in the factory and I want to plug two pieces together and glue them together and do whatever. I want to do that. I want to go sweep the shop in the factory where these people think that the owner is never going to show up at. I want to be that guy.
Why?
Because I love working. And
Just because you love that's just because you love working.
No.
Because if you love working, you'd work at at a mechanic shop.
Also,
or,
when you own a small business,
Like
you know,
what?
like wealth. The way I look at wealth is, you know, wealth is basically like how long your money can last you, right? So like you're only so wealthy. So like
Well,
if you
I
have,
think that's also perceptive.
yeah, I guess
Like-
it depends on like what you consider wealth. What is
Yeah.
wealth? But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is like my small business, I can only leave for so long, right? Like I if I left for a year, I don't know if my business would still be there when I got
Yeah, it's not
back.
like being the manager of
Yeah.
Walmart. If you're the manager of a Walmart, you can leave for a year, and it's Walmart. It's going to keep going.
It's going to keep rolling, no matter what.
Okay, let's take it even
But
higher.
if you
the
leave-
owner of Walmart, John Walton, or whatever the hell the dude's name is.
Sam Walton.
Sam Walton.
He's
That was
also
close.
dead. He's also dead.
Okay. Well,
As we know.
that dude does not have to go to Owensville Walmart to check on it, right? So
Yeah.
No.
his wealth is extremely high. Like he can retire or die, and his wealth is going to keep on going for generation because he built a system and a business that will last a lifetime. Actually, it probably lasts 10 lifetimes, maybe even more than that, right? It will last a very long time. But my small business, if I go to Florida for a year, when I come back, I highly doubt it'll be there. And that's really what's really cool about big businesses is that there's a lot of people in the line of command that help the business go. And I enjoy doing all this work, but when I wake up one day and I'm like, I'm tired. I want to go to Florida. I want to be able to go to Florida and still make money. But a lot of people
Yeah, you want freedom.
have to retire and their money stops, right? But if you build a business that has money, that is set up, that has a system that never stops, that has a CEO always in place, and when that CEO goes to retire, he'll hire another CEO, and they train him. And there's people down the line that will always keep going. And when I die, and my kids die, and my kids' kids die,
So what's going to be
that-
your main industry, though? Is like your main industry going to be gyms?
Oh,
Like,
it doesn't matter. I don't think
It just
no.
doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't matter at all. The idea of a corporation is the way it works. The system is of how it is built. That's what I like about it. Whenever it comes to buying a corporation, it's going to be whatever I want. You know, like that's like saying I want to own a small business. Well, I haven't figured out what corporation I want to own yet, right? I got to have the money to even start it. Like,
But what
gotta-
you don't look at like trends and like, next 10, 15 years, what's going to even be popular? Or like what's
Well, I don't have the money to even like.
to even worry about it?
Yeah.
You just
yeah,
want
I
to
think
get
you
in
might
there.
be
and
talking
you
about
just-
something I don't have enough knowledge on personally.
Because
So-
the reason
I'm just trying to get to the like personal reasons of like I feel like you want financial freedom so you can just do whatever you want, which I completely understand because
Yeah,
I
I
also
want to.
like would like to do I could do 50 million things.
So what's more important to you? Is it financial freedom or is like being responsible and feeling pride in what you've created?
Yeah, well, I want to impact humanity. Like
how?
how?
Do you want
Yes,
to
that's a good
Well,
question.
then I think
you
your
wanna, like-
type of
like, you
industry
wanna
has a
be-
big impact on that. Because I would
Yeah.
argue that, like,
Yep, but
maybe
so does a lot
I think
of
you
other
can make an
things.
argument that gyms have a bigger impact on humanity than maybe even Walmart.
Yeah, but I would like Axe and Sledge.
Okay.
They're making an impact on humanity. They're making some really good products that are better than most, and they're selling them at affordable rates. And they're a corporation.
So they're helping people achieve fitness and lead healthy lifestyles.
Yeah.
So that's important to you.
Yes, and
So
I would
then-
love to own something like Axe and Sledge.
So then I don't think you could say that it doesn't matter what kind of corporation you own. It does
Yeah.
matter.
Okay, it does. Yes, no, 100%. I'm not
Yeah.
saying like I don't. If it's freaking
Like, you don't just wanna
dildos,
beat the
I'm
head
not
of
gonna
the-
make dildos. Okay, like I'm not gonna be that.
Brian's
guy.
like, I want
I'm
that
saying-
company. I'm going to have to need
But
that
I'm
one.
also what I'm saying when I say it doesn't matter is that it doesn't have to be.
Well, yeah, it's-
I haven't like figured out in my head like when people are like, oh, don't tell people your dreams. Like
Why would
I don't
people say
believe in
that?
that. People
Why
say
would
that,
people
all,
say that?
because they say like you should keep it to yourself. It's like like jinxing it or something. I'm like, no, you should like it's
oh, what you mean like
what's the thing where you
competitive
say it every day and like
mantra?
no, it's like
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
well, okay, maybe maybe someone has a mantra, but
yeah.
this is like something
Speak
that
it into existence or something like that?
yeah, where you speak it into existence. What's that called? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, manifesting.
Manifestation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's what I believe. Like I believe I'm saying it enough, and people are hearing it, and a lot of people are really like, yeah, okay, let's start a corporation. But one day, I might be 50 years old before I make it happen. But it's a goal.
Yeah, it's a
And
goal.
Yeah,
big
there's no.
goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
And
absolutely
that's
no
also
reason to
who
not
I
have
am.
a
I'm
goal.
a goal chaser.
Well,
Absolutely.
see,
I love doing that.
that's why most people aren't. That's why people do these other things and
Yeah.
don't want that is because they're just
way
not.
too much, yeah.
They don't know they don't know what goals are.
Yeah.
They're not trying to reach anything. They're trying to get to the next
Well,
day.
I think
you
that's a
know?
big problem people have.
Oh, yeah.
Once
Yeah.
you start setting little goals, which is exactly where I started out at,
Yeah.
and it just increased and increased and increased, and then it's just like Well, I never, like at a very young age, I never thought I had any potential for anything because
I do think that is one thing that is wrong with the public school system. I think the public school system has to do a better job at letting everybody know that there's a niche for them somewhere, whether that be being the employee like you talked about, because there are some people that are totally fine with that.
Yeah.
And that's great because it takes those people to make the world go round.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
also to let people know who are like you that there are other options. And the school tries to do that, but it's definitely not
it's too hard. It's very hard.
too hard, yeah.
because there's not enough systems in place to be able to.
Yeah, and kids
But they
are
need,
crazy.
but even like, okay, one thing I will agree with you on is that your TikToks, the thing you do at the gym, I've seen the way you communicate with the youth. And I know, one thing I know for a fact is that you know the people that are in your gym, because when I reached out to you about one of them, you knew who he was. Like, you knew what he looked like, you knew him. So, like, I know that you know these people, so you're making these connections with them. So I would say, like, you're doing a great job at, like, letting people see what that looks like, because a lot of kids don't know that. And, like, that's one of the things I try to do in the classroom is, like, let them know, like, there's so much more than just what we have here.
I would agree that, and I've had people put a connection between me and you before that I've met, that you've met, that we haven't met together. Brian Hampton, for example.
Oh,
you know, like me and you are actually a very small niche group of people that actually care about humanity.
Other people.
Yeah.
Right.
And like we want to help other people. And I don't know where yours stems from, but mine stemmed from the fact that people weren't helping me. And that I always needed people. I always felt like I always needed taught something, and I still do. That's why I started my podcast, to reach out to people. You know, and that's why I'm trying to take what I learn on here, put it on video and audio for kids, and that's why I'm turning into TikToks and YouTube, so kids that don't have this availability where they can reach out to that business owner and learn that kind of stuff. That's why I try to ask these marketing questions, these business questions, and all this stuff, because I'm trying to give this back to anybody out there that's like, how do I start a gas station? You know, and I have this guy that owns a gas station. He talks about all his methods on it and stuff. Like,
Heck yeah.
If I get that to one person, that's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That would be
yeah.
so much to me.
Yeah.
So like that's a big reason why I did, because I felt like I never had it growing up, but I also didn't have the internet growing up. So I think maybe
Yeah, the world's way different now than what it was when we were kids.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
And I think you can make arguments for better or for worse, because there are definitely some positive outcomes from it, but there are also some, you know, terrible negatives from it.
And that's
too.
with everything.
Right, 100%.
That was with everything.
Yeah. That's a big topic. Okay, I'd be interested to know from your perspective, Ryan, because this is a super hot topic in schools right now. What is your opinion on, like, you know, cell phones being allowed in the schools? Because that is a super hot topic right now.
Yeah.
What's your thought on it?
I don't have one.
I would still say no, because we still have computers. Like, kids are too smart. They're not going to use it.
I think there's a lot of arguments on it.
To actually use school, because, like, I mean, I did that with the computers. You know, like we would get around the servers all the time and look up whatever I wanted at school. Like,
for the longest time, I was
find a way.
very much on the side of I want cell phones to be allowed in school. I want kids to be able to have them out, because I want kids to learn how to make them beneficial to them, not to say that you should never use this, because that's not true. You use a cell phone every single day. Like, you improve your commerce with cell phone.
I had it at work. I use it. I wasn't supposed to have it at work. I use it at every job.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think there's an importance to it.
You try to take it away from them, they're still going to use it. So
Yeah.
And one thing I've learned is
no, that's not true, because I don't know if you know this or not, but like middle school down, cell phones are not allowed in school at all anymore. Like, if they even see it, they take it and send it to the office. You're not allowed to have it at all.
Lakeside Book Company, you can't have a cell phone now. They'll fire you on the spot. I had a cell phone in there. I watched guys get walked out. I also watched guys go in the bathroom and I've seen it through the crack. They're touching on it. If you try to take it away from someone, they're still going to have it.
I feel like you have to teach them how to properly use it. And that is one thing where I feel like the school is falling short, because, I mean, there's so many kids that, like, I'm trying to teach an accounting class, which they may not be interested in at all, but I teach accounting. That's my job. Like, that's literally why I'm there, whether you're interested or not. Like, you have to sit through this class. I have to teach you. Like, that's what we're doing. But, like, if you're sitting there and you're playing Candy Crush, like,
don't have it out during class.
Well, what about, like,
that's a lot easier said than done, though. Yeah. So that's why, like, schools are taking the stance of, like, well, let's ban them because kids don't have the self-control. How do we teach people?
Why can't you just send them to, like, when I was in school, if you got caught with your cell phone.
You know how many people would be in the principal's office? We sent every single kid to the principal. So what?
So what?
Well, what does that do?
That's why the rule's there.
Right, because it got to be an overwhelming amount of
because you're going to have kids in there all the time, so it's easier just to cut the rule.
You just keep making it get worse, right? Like, First 3 strikes, you get in-school suspension. After the next 4, you get out-of-school suspension.
But who wins when the kids are getting out-of-school suspension?
The kids that are in school are actually trying to learn. The kids that come to my gym that aren't supposed to be sneaking in, that aren't supposed to be there because they're not paying, I ban them. Sure, those kids aren't getting getting physically fit.
That's a whole different conversation.
I'll ban them in a heartbeat. You're sneaking in, you're gone. You're out of here. Because I tell
so
everybody.
Do you have to get the police involved when that happens?
No, I just shut down their card. They don't have access anymore. And if someone else
like
lets
if they're
them in,
sneaking somebody else in.
yeah.
I
ban them
the
both.
paying customers.
How do you know that? Do you just know everybody
Well, you
goes
can
to
see
your
the
gym?
you have
and has-
cameras.
I'm very aware.
You just know
I mean,
everybody.
it's pretty
that-
obvious.
There is like systems in place, like Gym Assist, my program I use. It has a watcher program. So if you swipe your card and 2 people walk in, it's a
knows.
notification.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
It has
awesome.
like it has
And
like
if
a
you ever
thing.
went to check it, it would be easy to see on your cameras.
Yeah,
Like,
who it was.
And
person
they're
came-
not smart. You guys are not smart. You guys that are doing it, you're not smart. I'm way smarter than you.
trust me.
I'm catching you.
The
No, I'm
kids
not
at the
saying you
school, I
guys.
agree.
I'm
No,
not
no,
saying
no.
you guys. I'm talking
like-
to the kid that's listening right now. Like, I think I can get in. I'm way smarter than you. I'm watching. I'm figuring it out.
Yeah, no.
That's hilarious.
I'm doing the research to make sure you can't do it because to me it's stealing, and that is my number 1 pet peeve there.
Stealing.
yeah.
If you're walking in my building for free, it's stealing from me. A day pass is $10. You know, you keep doing that, it's $10 a day. You
Well,
know,
that adds
that's
up.
$300 in a month if you come 30 times. You know, and then not if you come in and you're letting someone in for free and they haven't signed a liability release and they get hurt and then they sue me. Now they're trying to take my whole business. And my insurance company is like,
Yeah, that's a whole different. Yeah,
this
that's
is a whole,
different.
it's a whole
category.
other realm. And so, yeah, I banned 5 kids in one day before.
And I think you have
and
to do that. You have to set that
and I don't
precedent so
care
they
that-
know 100%.
Yeah, I don't care about them kids that are like, oh, yeah, I want to work out there.
But the
But the
problem,
school
the
could
difference
say the
between
same
the
thing.
school and you is that you can ban them and never have to deal with them again. The school deals with them every single day, all the time.
not if they're kicked out.
Yeah, they do, Ryan. They come
How?
back. Like, you can't ban someone indefinitely for having a cell phone. That's not how it works.
People like
If you make the rule, it is.
people don't follow rules, Ryan.
No kid is fighting their way back in
So
school.
what do you think would happen if a prominent person in the community were to get banned from school forever for having a cell phone out in class? Well,
Not
first
one,
off,
no. I'm saying the forever is, let's say, 15 times got caught. The first 5 is first time you get caught.
also think
slap on the wrist.
about as a teacher, you only have 42 minutes in a class period.
Yep.
If you're having to deal with a student with a cell phone
Gone.
every class,
Go to the office. You're out of here.
It just
I
takes
think you
away
have a
from
different.
everybody
that's why
else.
I think it would be really
Yeah.
interesting if you were a subject teacher for a day.
Yeah, because I
It's
don't.
not that smooth.
I'm not,
We'd be
I'm not
watching
that
a movie.
nice.
Like, you
We'd be
don't say-
chilling.
What, they
You
fight
don't-
back?
How they fight back?
How was
Are
your
you kidding
class?
me?
Our class was horrible. We fought back all the time.
If I tell a kid, hey, here's my policy in my class.
Yeah,
I
I
see
wouldn't
some-
make it, man. I wouldn't make it.
I don't think you would. Because if
wouldn't.
I see a
No, I
kid,
know I wouldn't.
but there's also so many constraints on teachers. That's another part with it. That's another.
Yeah.
It's more of a honestly, it's not a teacher or a school problem. It's more of an infrastructure problem. The infrastructure that we have set up. And the other problem is honestly, and I didn't mention this earlier, but like parents have to have a stake in the kid's education. Like,
Yeah.
like now that I'm a definitely a big an exception because I am a teacher, but with my kids, I would make sure that I'm gonna have those conversations with them, like what's happening at school. Are you using your time wisely or are you not? Because and I think that falls on the parents. Another side note, this is totally different.
I
but
had
was-
to check the cameras, so Tyler kind of was getting like half distracted by me walking around.
Oh no, you're
For
fine.
anyone
you're
that's just listening,
fine.
I wanted to make sure we're good on time.
Side note, just because I know you're friends with Jake and Brandon, we were talking about kids last night, and Jake was in a situation. Jake doesn't have kids yet, kind of like you.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon does have kids. I have kids. And I think when it comes to the school system, parents have such an important role, and they're so much more important than even your teachers. Like your parents have to. There's certain things like you were talking about, like with business. I feel like your parents are more responsible for making sure that you're going down the right path with
Yeah.
that than even the teachers are, because the
Yeah.
teachers don't. Teachers have I have 70 kids walking my door every single day.
Yeah.
I talk to hundreds of kids every day because I talk to them in the hallway. I talk to them at lunch. I talk to them when I walk in the building. Like I'm interacting with hundreds of people every single day, just like you do at the gym.
Yep.
The difference is mine are all under 18.
Yeah.
All of them are, and they're super multiple.
Most
They
of them don't want to be there.
Most of them don't want to be there. Most of them don't have careers. Most of them have no clue what they even want to do.
Their brains aren't
But-
developed.
The parents
Some of them are
play.
drunk.
Yeah, some of them are drunk. Some of them are high. Some of them are going to the bathroom and vaping, and you know which ones they are, but you can't catch them because they're going to hide it. And to be able to find
You
it,
call
you
them
have
vape lord?
vape lords.
Yeah.
Well, no, the big thing at the high
That's
school.
what I would. I'm like, hey, vape lord,
So-
like chill on that, man.
No, the weirdest thing. So we have like bathroom duties teachers do. So like I'll go in the bathroom. I check my bathroom. I monitor pretty heavily, so I'm in there all the time, and I'm always like chatting with the kids because the kids that are always coming to bathrooms are not like the scholars. They're the kids that are like breaking the rules. They're getting in trouble. So I have a very good relationship with these kids in the bathroom because I see them 4 times a day. I'm like, dude, you don't have to take a crap 4 times a day. That's not realistic. Like, I know what bowel movements are like. Like, you're not in here for that. But like the big thing now, which is different from when we were in high school, at least maybe I didn't run in these circles, so maybe it was like that in high school. But
Yeah, I have no
the
idea.
kids want to hide in stalls together so they can vape together. Like, that's a thing now. Like, I can't tell you how many times I walk into a bathroom, I'm like, wow, there's 4 feet underneath that stall. I wonder what's going on there. But as a teacher, I can't open that door. If I open that door, though, I'm like violating privacy. I cannot do that. And you can guarantee that when they come out of that stall, they're not like, here's my vape. Like, they're not showing me. They're shoving it in their pants or sticking it in their underwear. And, like, unless I see it, I can't perform, like, a search and seizure.
Yeah.
Search.
It's a seizure.
Search and seize in the bathroom. Like, that's not illegal. So, like, there's so many times when teachers have their hands tied, that's just frustrating.
Just let them
But
do it.
just let them do
Just let them
it.
do it.
No.
Well, I mean, you
So
can
we-
take that all the way to like
They're
drugs.
gonna do it- they're gonna
Are you
do it
gonna
after high
Do
school,
you want to
yeah.
legalize drugs all the way? Like, do you want to say like do whatever
Yes.
you want?
Yes.
You'll be the pit of your own enemy.
Because statistically speaking,
Yeah,
people
I
stop doing
agree.
them.
Yeah.
Like
Sell
when
them
it-
over the
yeah,
counter, sell them
I
at the gas
agree.
station.
No, like it just legal so people don't want them
Well, what-
anymore. Like
Clay-
countries that they're like legal in
Is
where you can just do
Switzerland,
whatever
is
you
that
want.
the one where they have, like, it's basically like for heroin? Isn't Switzerland the one where they have, like, I can't remember what they call them, but it's where,
Amsterdam?
no, it's not Amsterdam. think
I
it's
know what you're
Switzerland.
talking about, Ryan.
It's basically a
But yeah.
safe place they can go where
And
they can
use
get clean needles.
That's in America, bro. There's places in America.
Are there?
Yeah.
Well,
Like
I
New
think,
York, I think, has that. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure
Really?
if LA has it
Well, you
yet.
can just go get, like,
Yeah,
they'll
just
give
go
you
get
clean
clean
needles.
needles.
They'll
Yeah.
put the vein in you, or put the needle in you,
Yeah.
get you high, and you can just walk out. No
It's
trouble.
legal.
They'll monitor you, make sure like you're
Oh, really?
okay. But yeah, like, well, so that's the thing is.
Well, the
putting-
government doesn't want you getting
So-
it from other places.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of like parallel to like the school thing. Like you're saying, like just be able to drop out. Well, that's not like good solution. So like putting somebody in jail for drugs when they
Also
probably
not a
have
good
a
solution.
mental health illness or
Yeah.
crazy life or somebody drugged them, somebody raped them. Like usually there's so many different reasons why people do drugs and get hooked to them. Putting them in jail does not help.
Right.
It does
'cause
not.
they serve
it does
their
not
sentence and they go out and do
solve
the same thing
problem,
again.
Yeah.
So
Right.
like they've kind of realized now, like in Seattle or what is it, Oregon, Washington,
Right.
they're
Seattle,
decriminalizing
Washington.
everything, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like the Wild West right now. I have a buddy that lives up there,
Yeah, that's what I heard.
and
what
like,
it does is it pushes out the drug dealers because now the drug dealers
Oregon's
aren't
the
able to
first
sell.
one to legalize cocaine, right?
no, it's not. It's just decriminalized. So like
Oh.
you're not going to do major time if you get
I don't
caught.
really pay
federally.
attention to much of it,
Federally, like
honestly.
you can still get in trouble by the FBI if you have a bunch of cocaine and you're selling it to people. But like if you get caught with some and you're like buying it, it's not a lot. Like the time that you do is going to be a lot less than what it used to be.
Gotcha.
They're going to try to put you in therapy first. They're going to put you in rehab. They're going to try to like put you in a different program and try to figure out like why you're on drugs, because that's an actual solution to the problem. But it's also a very brand new concept. So like,
Yeah.
it's
And it might work, it
It's
might
going to
not work.
change. It's
Yeah.
going to go back and forth. Like it's
Well, I can
it's
tell you
kind of
what
like
we're
an
doing right now
experiment.
ain't working, so let's try some stuff out, right?
No, I do
Well,
agree with
let's-
that. If
let's-
what's
let's
working, not
wing it.
working right now, then we do need to figure something out that does work.
Yeah.
For sure.
So can we? Because we're like 2 hours in, not quite, but we're getting there,
Yeah.
and we got to keep it to a limit.
True,
'Cause
true.
Poor Sam.
Jeez.
I told her that I keep my podcast at an hour and a half because I'm editing it. But now that I'm not editing it,
You're right.
yeah, I'm just like, it'll be okay, Sam. Maybe she'll be fine. She'll be fine. She'll let me know. She'll let me know if it's not.
Okay.
Either way, it's something to worry about another day. But I want to do, this is something I seen that I thought might be kind of fun, and it is Christmas time. So it's a top 5 draft pick.
Okay.
And we all go through and say something about, well, we make like a list on our phone. We got to come up with some ideas, so you got to brainstorm really quick.
Okay.
And we'll write them down on our phone, and you got to choose your top 5 favorite things about Christmas. but you can't repeat what someone else said.
Okay.
Okay?
Easy.
Can you guys make some on your phone?
So we're just gonna draft right now, right?
Yeah.
One
Just
at
come
a
up with some
time.
ideas on, like to put down, and you're probably gonna want more than 5 because someone else will probably use it. But you're gonna want we're gonna start off with your number 1 draft pick, down to your number 5, right?
And we should probably have
top
some
5,
some
extras.
extras.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Easy.
And I can only come up with 1. So.
You're supposed to come up with 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Man.
I got 3.
Oh man, I got 6 already. Come
Really?
on, dude. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Well, maybe you're a little more jolly than me.
I tend to be a pretty
I'm just a
happy
Grinch
person,
over
so-
here.
I got called out at Walmart the other day. Like, this lady's like, that doesn't seem very Christmassy. I'm like, I'm trying to get out of here, ma'am. Like, Merry Christmas. Have a great day. I got 25.
I got one that I definitely don't think you guys are going to put on yours, but it slaps.
Oh,
for
okay.
sure.
Okay. Is it gonna be a high draft pick, or are you saving it as a sleeper?
Yeah, I
or
think it's
what?
going to be my number 3 draft pick.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If it might be number 1 if you guys take my other ones, because I'm going to let Clay start it, and then it's going to rotate to you, and then me be last. But I need to come
See-
up with at least one more.
I'm taking, like, the most basic, simple approach because I'm basic.
That's perfectly fine.
Food, bro.
Food's your
Like,
number 1 draft.
I'm very well. Oh, we actually like.
yeah, we getting started here. Yes, that's the
All right.
first
I'm
pick.
just stealing that one because I know it's probably going to be. It might be used, but
Food was on my list.
I'm a foodie, like DJing weddings and stuff. Like, I love the fact that I'm gonna have a great meal that day for free. Oh, I mean, I'm working, but technically for free.
Sure.
Food was
And then-
through my mind, but I
like-
did not choose it. Food's your number 1 draft pick?
Well, I started writing, man. I just started going.
I want your number 1 draft pick. Your favorite thing about Christmas.
But he already threw it
my-
out there, man.
No. I'll let him reach it. We got to give him
my
okay.
favorite.
You're going
thing?
from number 1 best down to the 5th best of Christmas.
man.
Number 1 best, Clay.
Can't even think that. Okay, my number 1 thing that I like about Christmas, but it also kind of makes me mad a little bit, is the fact that people are generally more jolly. They're more willing to
general
help.
happiness?
They're willing to like be nice to other people.
So you like it and you don't like it.
Well, no, well, also because the fact that you should be like that all year round. I feel like you should generally, no matter like what's going on, like things happen. Like you can have a really bad day, but I try not to take it out on another person because that's my day. So like, even if I'm having the worst day ever, I'm not gonna treat Tyler like crap. I'm not gonna treat you like crap. Like you should generally be positive and trying to help other people in your life every day.
Sure.
Because
So it's a
that's
positive outlook.
helping people. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
I mean, like what are we trying to do here?
I think that's definitely a good one for sure. I think everybody typically doesn't wake up on the wrong side of the bed on Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
For sure.
like just
Yeah,
the
people
general.
are just more
You make
excited
an
and
effort
happy.
to be happy.
Yeah, people like New Year, they're looking for new beginnings. Like,
Sure,
you know,
sure,
it's
sure.
just, you get all that. You get more of a positive energy
Yep.
towards the end of the year.
Am I drafting or are you
Yep.
up?
Your number 1. Yeah, your number 1 draft pick. What's it?
Mine's going to be pretty cliche, but mine would be family. I really enjoy getting to spend time with my family. Obviously in the last year I lost my dad, so it's a little bit different for me this year. Probably hits home a little bit more, but getting to spend that time and make those memories, it has a different context to me now because I
The older
can.
you get, the more it means to you.
Right. Yeah. And me and Clay have talked about it a lot, but I mean, even just in our class, we've lost a lot of people, and the significance of the people that play a role in my life. That's an important thing to me. So family would be number 1.
That's
for
great,
me.
Tom. That's great.
First year,
Kinda
especially.
cliche,
Yeah.
corny.
No. If we're talking number 1 best thing
Yeah,
about
yeah,
Christmas,
yeah, that's
it's
number
going
1
to
for
be
me.
cliche,
But
right?
yeah,
It
For
should
sure.
be.
For sure.
Like you
sure.
said, that
Mine-
too. Like holidays are rough, like
True. Yeah, they're not always
That's
easy.
why a
for
lot
sure.
of people don't like holidays because bad things happen.
Yeah, but I
around them.
choose to have the outlook at like it's still
Connect, yeah,
positive.
man.
Like you said, like you still gotta have that positive outlook. Like this could be a really crappy Christmas year for me, but at the same time, like it is. There're gonna be some hard parts, but I'm gonna get to see my mom, my sister, my in-laws, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's a positive thing. So like you got to look at it glass half full still. I think.
yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah.
So
You guys want to know mine?
yeah, let's hear it.
Better
Man.
not be another one of mine.
It's very cliche. And if one of you guys don't have this on your list, you guys are just wrong. And I
Okay,
think you
well,
guys
what
are
do you
lying
got? What
if
do
you
you
don't
got?
have this on your
All right.
list.
All right.
Presents.
Present.
I
yeah,
actually did. I
that
did
was
put it
number
down.
4 on my
I
list.
did put it down.
That was 4th on
Yeah,
mine.
it was.
I figured
yeah.
it'd be pretty high on the list for most people.
No, I'm a kind of person that likes to get stuff for myself. I don't like the extra gifts that really don't mean anything to me.
I'm
like
talking
stuff that's
giving
gonna
gifts.
sit around
Oh,
or
I don't even care about
Yeah.
getting them.
Yeah.
I'm
Giving
talking
them.
about giving gifts.
Oh,
love
giving
it.
Oh,
Love it.
Yeah, I do love seeing
Yeah.
people's
Yeah.
faces.
I love
for sure.
my sister. I flipped a house a couple years ago, and me and my sister always have a $50 limit on our Christmas gifts. Like we're like, just keep it basic because we I mean, growing up, we're just
Right.
didn't have a lot of money. And let's get it just $50 limit. But one year I flipped a house, had a great year, had some extra money, quite a bit of extra money. And I went all out on her. Like I got her like an overhead microwave. She was into photography at the time. I got her a bunch of lenses for her cameras. I mean, I just spent hundreds of dollars on her and just dumped it on her on Christmas.
And selfishly,
she's
it made
like,
you feel good too.
oh, it felt so good.
Yeah,
she was
absolutely.
so happy because like she had schooling at that time. She had just bought a house. I mean, she just had a lot of expenses going on in her life at the time, and I knew she really wanted it. She couldn't afford it, and I'm like, I loved it, man. I loved
absolutely.
And she was so thankful for it too, because I knew she needed it,
Yeah.
and that's what was so. That's what I'm not. Yeah, presents. I mean, I don't like buying them all the time. Sometimes it's like, man, this sucks.
Right.
But I could care less about getting gifts. I buy like you. I buy myself stuff all the time. I don't
Yeah.
need nothing.
I
right.
really
Yeah,
don't.
when people ask me, I'm like, oh, I don't need anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I want to get you something.
Yeah.
See,
Selfishly, for me, I want to get you something.
yeah,
Yeah, and I
I'm,
want to act like it's for you.
Yeah.
I'm not like that at all. I show up. I'm like, hey, I'm here.
Hey,
here. This is your present.
I got you cash.
I showed it. Well, it's also a little different.
which is a great gift.
Because, like, my family, we're all scattered. So, like, my sister lives in Florida. My mom lives in Maryland. My sister's in Kansas City. So, like, I'll fly to Maryland a lot to go to, like, Christmas or Thanksgiving. But, yeah, that's usually, like, part of my gift. Or, like, that's a gift to myself. Like, I'll get a plane ticket or go somewhere. But, yeah, I'm, like, really bad at it because I like get things you're going to use.
Yep.
Like I'm never just gonna give you like a random gift. I'm gonna give something that like you're gonna
Something that's
use and
useless.
or it means something to you. But if I don't know what that is, Merry Christmas. Have a great day. Like
Sure.
I have to be very
understand.
like specific if I'm gonna get you something. You
Yeah,
know.
that's fair.
All right, Clay, you're up, man.
Number 2.
Number
Draft
2.
Well, you guys took all the
Second
other ones,
best.
so I guess I'm gonna say food now.
pick. Food.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Food's. I don't look forward to. I really don't. I just don't.
Well, see, like,
I
it's
like
not a big thing
steak.
for
I like
me.
ribeyes, and
Yeah, Christmas
nobody
food is not
makes
what I really
Christmas
want.
ribeyes.
well,
Yeah.
in my family, foods is like an everyday thing. So like the way my dad looks at it, like my mom's a really good cook.
So
but,
someone
like,
probably goes all out
Well,
for your Christmas events.
what does everybody do when they eat food? You don't go eat food by yourself, do you? Like
You're
you don't-
together.
You don't
Yeah, you're
have
spending
a
that
sp-
time
you know,
together.
I've
so
ate
like,
a lot of meals by myself in restaurants. A lot.
But
yeah,
on
but
Christmas.
I mean on Christmas
Oh no,
though,
not on
like
Christmas. That would
like-
really be
That'd
sad.
be kinda
yeah, like
That would really be sad.
yeah, exactly.
So the dude that's
But-
doing it alone, there's nothing wrong.
Like
with
if you're
it,
eating
buddy.
alone on Christmas, Ryan,
But-
you can come over to our house.
I guess I guess it ties in with like family time. So like like
Yeah,
cooking like
Goes
my gra-
together for sure.
Grandma cookies, and then like my mom's always in the kitchen. I'm always trying to help her out or something, or actually just
Do you
get
have
out
a
of the
food
way.
in particular that is your favorite at Christmas time?
No, I know my
Ham.
my mom and sister though, they like those little like mints. That's like what is it like? They're really weird. It's like cream cheese or something with like dye and like a little bit of sugar, I think.
I can honestly say I have no clue what you're talking about.
I've
If
never-
I seen
it's
it,
like-
I bet I would. But
it's-
yeah,
it's
nothing's
the-
ringing a bell.
it's
Cream
so-
cheese.
I don't like. I mean,
Mints?
I don't like. I'm not that kind of person. I don't know. I just
His
not,
number
like-
2 draft pick is food, and he doesn't even have one single
favorite
food.
food. Yeah, that's weird.
yeah
Clay.
because I'm a foodie. It's all
You just like it all.
I like it
He
all.
likes it all. He
That's
Like,
fair.
I like it
That's
all.
doesn't want to
That's like-
discriminate and
like-
offend us some food.
Yeah, like I mean, I like trying different stuff. I mean,
sure.
all-time favorite Christmas thing. I mean, I guess that would be sugar like Christmas cookies.
Okay.
Like
That's
that-
good. That's
that is-
great.
Yeah,
That's
that-
great.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it.
All
Tyler?
right, my number two would be playing games with the family.
I had that on my list, man. That's a good one.
Yeah, my
good
cousin
one.
Perry, he's like notorious for coming up with like really random things to do, and they usually spark like lots of memories and things like that. So
Yeah.
I enjoy playing games. I enjoy
White
the-
elephant's always fun.
Yeah, I like
That's
the
always a
rowdiness
fun.
of it.
Yeah. We do one where it's like oven mitts, and
Wait.
it's like
Oh, you got
money.
to wreck a.
What's white elephant?
It's where everybody gets a random gift.
It's like a bad gift.
Or it doesn't have to be bad.
Okay.
It's more fun if
No,
That's how Tyler plays it.
Yeah, I know now.
I like being the guy that buy like when they put a $25 limit on it. I like buying the thing for $100, so everybody fights
You're
over
like
that one.
Michael Scott where you buy the iPod.
Yeah, I like doing that just to see everyone fight. You know, everybody wants to like. I just went to one the other day, and it was damn, I can't think of the guy's name, but it was his face on a pillow.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of the guy's name.
And somebody gets stuck with it. That's the best part. Like, you have to take this home and do something with it.
I think it was a 3-year tradition, they said. They just kept re-gifting it at White Elephant. So
Oh,
it was
that's
great.
hilarious.
Yeah.
But you were saying the oven mitts? Did
Oh,
you do
the
that with
oven
saran
mitts,
wrap?
yeah. It's a ball of saran wrap.
Yeah, we
and
did
it's
that the other night.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Because everybody's just freaking out because you have a time limit, right? Is that how you guys do it?
Did you roll the? Oh no, we did a thing where like you had to the next person who was in line had to roll dice until they got doubles.
Yeah, but
then once they got doubles,
there's
then they
someone
had to pass
unrolling
on.
it, right?
Yeah.
That's how it is. Not a time limit.
Yeah.
It's rolling the doubles thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember last year when I played it, I got a good grip on it. I was wearing oven mitts, but I had a good grip on
Just
it.
ripped it open.
No, I whipped it like this.
Yeah.
And it would just unroll completely. It was like, and just all these like we put
Random
lottery,
thing.
it's
Lottery
lottery
tickets,
tickets
yeah.
and money in it, and it's just flying through the air. It is fun.
Good memories.
heck
Good
Yeah,
memories.
it is
for
good
sure.
memories.
Heck yeah.
All right, what's yours, Ryan? Number two.
Number 2. So that was on my list. Presents. I got my number 3 draft pick. Right, I'm going to choose time off.
Absolutely.
Breaks. You know, I think it's super important to take these times off to be with family and friends, and also just like have a break. You know, like whether you're in school, like the school breaks are always so great. But even like right now that I own my own business, I could go in. There's people that have messaged me and they're like, "Hey, you're gonna be there? I need to buy this. Or I need to do this." And I'm like, I put a note up on the door. I told the girl that works for me in the office. I said, "Take some time off. Enjoy it with the family. You know, it's Christmas time. You need this." And I had people
Right.
that didn't do that for me in the past, and now I really reflect and I'm like, it's so important because this is times where you get to see people that you never get to see.
Yeah.
People are traveling in town. It's really important, and it's important to always have some breaks. You know, everybody needs a break.
yeah.
So I think it's really great.
You shouldn't feel guilty about having to have time off. Like you
No.
need that time.
Yes, everybody does.
You know, that
Doesn't matter who it
actually
is.
wasn't on my list, but that now that you've said it, like I'm kind of jealous I didn't pick it already.
Yeah, you
good,
guys,
good draft pick.
you guys
Okay.
took all my stuff. Like,
Wait
I don't have anything anymore.
Dang.
I thought you had 25.
No, that was a lie. that was,
You had 2 or 2
I was
to
just trying to
5.
put the heat on you guys, and it worked too well, I guess.
Do you have a number 3?
What's your 3?
Well, what was it? Oh, that was presence, helping other people, and like I had helping other people and like attitude as like 2 different things, but man, what else?
This is like the NFL draft. If
Yeah,
you don't
this
come
is
up with
tough.
some amount of time, we're just gonna skip
Yeah,
you.
go
dog.
ahead, skip me.
Skip,
'cause
come back around.
I can
We can
still talk, but
yeah.
I'm a very simple like
I
you
got
said.
some ideas
I'm the
for
kind
the
of
past
person that
5
like
draft.
I've had like crazy things happen on holidays, so like I don't put much on the holiday as much
Sure.
as like you say like family and hanging out with friends.
Sure.
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to put stories on mine. I like when we sit around the table and we are eating during that process. People are telling stories that have happened, you know, throughout the year. And you know, there's some family members you don't see very often. A lot of belly laughs during this time. A lot
Things
of
that
like,
you might have forgot about.
right? Yeah, you rehash, you
Yeah.
reminisce. So I'm a big fan of the story because I love telling
Reminiscing.
stories. I like
Yeah.
telling stories. I
Yeah.
like to hear stories.
That's
so
good. Yeah,
That's
because
one of
that does
mine.
happen a lot. And you
Yeah.
don't always get to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did for my number 3, caramel popcorn tins. The popcorn tins.
Really?
Do those
That
not slap?
Dude, those are huge,
okay,
man.
you
Yeah.
just struck a nerve with him because like
Oh, dude, I'm a
told you it was
popcorn.
gonna be
Dude, that
good,
was on
man.
my
He-
list.
he like
Was it?
Yeah,
Dude.
I'm really glad you took that.
he lives
I
off
figured
of
I would
popcorn,
like be able to
dude.
steal that at the end.
Yeah.
No, dude. And what's crazy is it's hard to come by.
Yeah.
It's hard to come by.
Dude, they sell
Is it?
fast. Yes.
Well, not only that, but
What's wrong with me? I had no idea.
But they don't nowadays. They're not selling it as just raw popcorn in there. It's because they do the cheddar popcorn, caramel popcorn, and then what's the other one? Plain. And,
Chocolate.
It's butter. It's like butter.
Oh, yeah.
Butter
so basically
popcorn.
plain. Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, butter's just plain. But
Yeah, butter just get you fat. It doesn't really have
I'm
any
not a
taste.
butter guy.
Me neither.
God.
It's just plain. Yeah.
Dude, have you ever had Garrett's popcorn?
Garrett's?
Oh, dude, I'm gonna get you
Garrett
some. It's just Garrett's. That's the name of the company.
No, where's it?
Oh,
It's based out of Chicago. It is the best pop. If you ever go to Chicago, please make it a point.
Never been to
stop by.
Chicago.
Really? You need to jump on the Amtrak. Great,
I planned on it one time.
Great, easy trip. Me and my wife do it a lot. Get you some Garrett's popcorn and then message me. But you got to get it hot in the store. Oh my God, dude.
Fresh.
It'll change your life.
Sure. Well, we went to Walmart this year, and we were like craving it. And I was like, I want some. And we're looking all around. The only popcorn tins they have are Smart Pop, and it's the tin, and it's bags of popcorn in there. I'm like, I'll just go back to the freaking
Yeah, it's stupid.
the popcorn aisle, grab 3 different bags.
Yeah.
I don't care about the tin. The tin means nothing to me. You know?
Have you ever heard of a Wally's?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So
I don't
Wally's.
think anybody likes popcorn as much as you.
I'm a
I think
popcorn
you
connoisseur,
might
man.
be like you should start a popcorn podcast.
Popcorn Buddha. Do you remember that? Lynn? Big deal, man. But
Well, Dan Breeden bought him out.
yeah, he did. Yeah.
He's from North.
Oh,
the guy who's
yeah.
from North Carolina. He had a podcast.
Yeah.
Popcorn
That
Buddha.
is true. Yeah.
You need to hit
But
him up.
the closest thing to Garrett's popcorn is the best popcorn on earth that I've had to this point. I've had a lot of different popcorns, but the closest thing that I
Popcorn's
found to it is Wally's. So if you're ever in Wally's, stop and get some of their cheddar or their caramel.
There's a Wally's.
That's on the way to
gas
St. Louis.
stations.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they have like their own popcorn section in there.
You want to?
Are we done with the draft or did
draft? No,
I mean,
we got.
I'm trying to make something up in my head and it's not working.
We got 2 more. You still ain't got nothing. You
not
capped
that
at
you,
2.
you guys
Well,
stole
you took
mine.
freaking popcorn, dude. You jerk.
You don't. There's not. I was thinking of different movies
Oh, that was actually
for
the next
Christmas.
on my list.
Just movies in
Just
general.
movies, Christmas movies in general. Yeah.
Can you give me a top for your movies?
Oh, that I mean,
My top movie?
Yeah.
Oh, well, my top Christmas movie is definitely A Christmas Story.
God, I hate
I
it.
love
Really?
that. I love that movie. Just
It's so great.
There's a channel. I don't know what the channel it is, but it plays it 24/7 on Christmas. It
Used to be
plays
like
24 straight hours.
TNT or whatever.
Really?
It used to be
Yeah,
that.
it plays it every
I
single
think I have
year.
heard that. I think
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have heard
24 hours. You haven't seen that?
I don't
How
have
you
TV.
not seen that?
I haven't,
you've never
I haven't
seen
had
yeah.
TV since 2014.
Wait, you've never seen Christmas Story?
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't.
Say,
I haven't
oh my
had
gosh.
TV though in a long time though. So I only watch what I want to watch, and I don't like watching TV.
Oh,
So.
that's fair. That's fair.
That's fair.
But have you guys ever watched 8 Crazy Nights by Adam Sandler? That's my favorite
The
Christmas.
cartoon one?
It's a cartoon one.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, with
I've
Whitey
never
or
seen
whatever.
that.
Whitey,
never
Whitey
seen it?
DeVoe.
No.
Duvall.
Well, yeah, whatever.
Now I'm gonna
however.
watch it though because you recommended it.
It is very
pretty good.
raunchy.
It's
So,
fine by me.
yeah, but it's like there's some stuff in it. But the reason it has such a connection to me, it's an Adam Sandler.
I love
movie,
Adam Sandler.
And they animated him, and it's basically he. Should I ruin it for him or no? Is it that big a deal? I
No,
don't think
yeah,
the
you
plot
can
of
ruin
it-
it for him. It'll
Yeah,
be
so
all-
basically,
he'll live. He'll be okay.
So basically, his parents. He played basketball. He's super good, but his parents died in a car accident on the way to his basketball game at Christmas time,
Oh damn.
and so it ruined Christmas.
This is
for
an
him.
animated like cartoon type style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like it starts off. He's in a Chinese restaurant and he's eating or he's drinking some type of like alcoholic Japanese drink.
Sake.
It wasn't.
I
sake.
don't know what it is.
It was. I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
But he dips out on it. He gets drunk and then he says he's going to the bathroom and he dips out. And then he's out there and he's all drunk, like trying to stick his keys in the car. And then the cops pull up and what's his name in the movie? You remember it? I should know
Nope.
it. It's my favorite movie.
I was about to say, it's like
my
this
favorite
is-
Christmas movie.
You started talking about it, I'm like, I don't remember a lot of the plot line of this, you know?
Davey? No.
Actually, I think it was Davey.
I think it might be Davey.
Yeah.
But basically he's out there and he's getting ready to like stick his key and the cops pull up and they're like, Davey, you getting ready to drive home? He's like, oh no, sorry, officer. He's like, I'm just telling my car goodbye. And then all of a sudden he's like kissing on it. He's like, I love you, baby. And he's like humping it and smacking it. And then the owner of the Chinese restaurant comes out and he's like yelling at him. He stole all those Chinese bowls. And then the cops are like, get him. And then it's like, that's how it starts. And he like jumps,
okay.
like he takes off running and jumps on like a thing. And the whole movie is, he gets caught because he hits like the Hanukkah. It's like a Hanukkah and Christmas collab.
Is that where the Hanukkah song comes from?
No. No.
Where does that come from?
That was just from SNL when he did
okay.
like the
Yeah,
turkey
the
song.
Hanukkah song's not in it.
Yeah, like the
okay.
Thanksgiving
But I think
song.
he is kind of like Jewish or something.
No, he is Jewish.
He
yeah.
is?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I didn't want to
yeah,
say it
yeah.
for sure,
Yeah, yeah.
but I
is.
thought he had something. I think that's probably why it has it. But yeah, so then he goes to court, and then he's supposed to go to jail, but this little short dude that one foot's like this big and the other one's like this big. He's going to make him coach, and he's going to like rehabilitate him through coaching, through the holidays. And you learn the whole story about how his parents died, how he's really good. And then after his parents, he just let his life go downhill. And then basically,
So there is a message to the movie.
there is a message because
Oh, wow.
he messes up, and his house gets burnt down, and it's a trailer. It gets burnt down, and then he has to go live with Whitey. And then at the end, he's getting ready. He's supposed to go to jail, but then because Whitey's trying to get some badge for the town, and he didn't get it. Well, then Davey goes back in and stands up for him, and he gets arrested. But they're like, let him talk, and he ends up giving this message about how great Whitey is. And then it's like 35 different years. Everybody gives him the badge, and there is a message to it, and it is good. But the whole movie's like raunchy. Like at one point, Davey kicks Whitey into a porta potty and then kicks him down the hill, and it's like flipping and stuff. And the guy gets out, and he's covered in crap, solid crap, and he gets out and it freezes because he sprays him with a hose, and now he calls him a poopsicle. And then these deers come up and lick it all off of him to like unfreeze them.
Yeah,
it is a raunchy movie.
There's some Adam Sandler parts in there for sure.
Yeah,
but-
it was something that I watched with my uncle that passed away.
Yeah.
As a child, which I should not have been watching as a child, but it just stuck with me. And then now it's like that. I watch it every Christmas, so like that's why it's my favorite one. But yeah, what's the other one? The National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation one.
Yeah,
that's a classic.
That's
too.
a good
Shitter's
one.
full.
Yeah,
It's so good.
I would bet that's
good.
like one of the number ones.
Yeah.
Christmas.
That's high
movies.
up there.
Yeah, I mean all of them are, but
All right, one more. You got one more, Clay?
Wait, I got one. I got to ask this because do you think Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
I've never watched it.
I've
I
never
watched
seen
it for the first time the other day.
Do you think it's a Christmas movie? Because that's like a huge debate.
I mean, it does play a Christmas song at the very end of the movie,
And it's during
and
Christmas.
it takes place on Christmas.
but is it a Christmas movie?
If I have to
You
give a
know?
shout out to Bryn Finley here. I would be wrong if I said that it's not a Christmas movie because every single year he tells me how Die Hard is a Christmas movie. So yes, to me it is.
Colin too. Colin from.
Oh yeah, I've heard
he got
about that too.
He got mad at me one year. We had a little like keyword
To me,
battle.
yes, it's a Christmas movie. Yes,
Because
absolutely.
it takes place at Christmas.
I don't know, man.
The other thing maybe this is more.
Is
of
this
an-
5? Is this your number 5 draft pick? Did you have a 4?
I didn't have a 4. I wasn't. Maybe you guys did that while I was gone, but
No, we didn't. Clay,
my,
I think we've. I don't know.
this would be my 4th pick. And maybe this is more of a New Year's thing, but I really think it takes place in the same time frame. I always have a new perspective after Christmas. So talking about how you're positive.
Yeah.
I've got some sort of goal in mind. I'm refreshed because I've had some time off. So I like the new perspective that the holidays offers me.
Yeah.
So new perspective is
good.
big for me.
Okay.
New
Tyler,
year, new me.
Well, are you going to say, I'm going to put Clay down as well, you didn't even pick a movie, did you? Or did you pick a movie?
Yeah, the same one he picked.
Oh.
This is
Christmas Story is yours too?
This is a lame game, Ryan. No.
He's just mad
But
because
yeah.
keeps stealing his draft picks.
Yeah, actually, I am. You guys stole all my answers, so I'm like,
and then yours was just like the
New perspective.
new perspective.
That's what I titled it on my list. New perspective. I like having a new perspective.
So I can't believe you guys didn't pick this yet. And you guys have got some pretty good ones. Tyler,
If you're about to steal something like popcorn again, I'm gonna be pissed.
The fact that this hasn't been put on there yet
What?
is crazy. Christmas lights.
oh man.
Why has that not been put on there?
I've
I
never
don't
put up
know.
Christmas lights in my life.
I didn't say put up Christmas lights.
Actually,
You like to view
I don't
them?
know.
Yeah, when you're driving by and the house is all lit up, that is so cool. Or
That
like
is-
Santa's Magical
Yeah.
Kingdom as a
That is
kid.
well,
like,
that's
so
so important
fun.
to my
Yeah, I
life.
did that with my girlfriend the other day. We just drove around and looked at them.
Or even the lights in your house, like on the
Yeah.
Christmas
Yeah.
tree.
Well, yeah,
and
like
all around your
decorating and
house.
doing
I
all
will
that.
say
yeah.
that when my wife puts up the Christmas tree and whatnot, it is like so cozy in my house. I do
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Christmas
actually-
lights
I
belong
told-
on the list for the top 5
Yeah.
draft pick for Christmas.
That
Well,
that's that
yeah,
counts.
okay. See,
I actually
I don't
told
have
Ashton.
I don't have the most traditional Christmases, so it's hard for me to like put them on a
That's
list.
fine, Clay.
But yeah, like
Tell
put-
us an untraditional one. We'll put it on the list.
nothing.
Yes, like Jello wrestle or something.
Well, so like I mean, like would you have like divorced parents? You have one a week before, have a week after. Like I might go to Maryland for like I might go to Maryland a year, and then I don't see my dad.
Yeah.
So like it's never been like put as that super important because I'll see you again, this kind of thing. And like that date, like the date and the day doesn't really mean a specific thing to me. But I did enjoy that. We used to like your towels, your soap dispensers, the kitchen.
All the decor.
It used to be everything when
feel like Christmas.
Yeah. Oh,
it has a special feel.
yeah.
It has almost
Sure.
like a warming feeling.
We
like
would
a
change
cozy, warming. You're right. It does.
Our whole house for Christmas. Other holidays too, but we would just redecorate the whole house for Christmas.
That actually might be higher on my list than my second
Is
draft
that
pick.
like
the coziness is very big
or
to me.
could we put it down as comfort?
Yeah,
It's
comfort.
almost like
because
Christmas comfort.
It's also like a tradition, but we had a lot of older things that were from like family members or friends or something that somebody got you at Christmas. So that also brings a significance to you, like your favorite ornament. Usually it's like something somebody gave you, or it's like something that relates to you. So that's fun. I like that.
That's a great one because I get that feeling too.
Yeah.
Like when it feels like Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it just feels like a great, because it just naturally makes you happier. You see all this stuff. And
yeah.
Yeah, it kind of just brings joy naturally to you.
Heck yeah.
For sure.
Tyler,
I like joy.
Number 5.
The last one that I have, and obviously this doesn't happen every Christmas here in Missouri, is playing in the snow. I have some pretty good memories from being a child of we built an igloo in my yard, made it on the news once, and
That's right.
that.
yeah, we did do that. So obviously it doesn't happen every Christmas, but you always kind of root for a white Christmas, and I personally I don't like crappy weather. I don't like it when it's super cold, but if it's a good wet snow. I'll go out and I look forward to building stuff with my kids, that's something I look forward to.
You got to at least build one snowball. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's got to build at least one snowball, and even if you just throw it at the wall, you got to still do it.
Funny story. So I drive a bus too for the school, and I was in the parking lot after that first snow we had this year. One of my students, I won't rat him out, but I'm getting ready to leave. I could just see him. I'm getting ready to drive this bus. We're going to Columbia. I can just see it in his eye. He's like, this is my time. I know Coach T's not going to write me up. He builds a snowball from the parking lot, launches it across the freaking parking lot of the high school, drills my bus. I just smiled at him. I'm like, that was a good toss, man. Good job, man.
Yeah.
I'm not even mad.
Yeah, you got to give it to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I like playing in the snow a little bit.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, if you don't, that's just...
Well, especially if it's good snow for it. If you got good snow, you just go down one hand, just hoss it real fast.
You guys had some great ones. That's really going to make it number 5 hard for me because that was all my draft picks.
Was playing in the snow on your
list?
list?
Snow was not on there. I do enjoy it, but I didn't want to. We don't always get it, and so
That's
I didn't.
true.
I wanted to try to pick the top 5, my
specifically
things
on Christmas.
I looked forward to about the Christmas.
Yeah, my last 2 were more about the holidays, the new perspective in the snow. So, yeah.
Which all comes around it. I don't know. What else? I mean,
well,
do you guys have anything else?
What about you skateboard, you never snowboard? I like snowboarding.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's not really a Christmas thing, but it's definitely a winter thing.
I had gadgets on my list. I always like every year there's a tech push during Christmas. Sometimes they push out really stupid things that totally useless, but people buy them for Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about with Joel, he's got a young kid, how they get so many gifts and he, most of it is useless. You get rid of it.
Yeah.
So we were talking about our first big gift or meaningful gift. I remember when I got the iPod Mini. You remember when those came? That was one thing came out. I didn't expect it. And I got it, but stuff like that when it comes out.
It's a funny story.
It is
Me and Clay,
awesome.
we rode the school bus together when we were kids, growing up. And I can remember being on the school bus the first time. I don't know if it was Clay that got it or me that got it, but we had a headphone jack splitter, so we could put 2 pairs of headphones into the same jack, and we could listen to music together on the bus.
Oh my gosh!
I remember sitting on a bus seat with Clay, listening to the same song, and be like, "Dude, this music is sick, bro."
No, I remember that now because I had that thing. That was nuts. I thought it was cool. I was like,
it's cool.
Yeah, you can share your music with somebody.
Yeah,
that is cool.
But that is such an old thing now.
Yeah.
Even having everything's wireless now.
Right.
Mostly.
For sure.
I don't have anything. I don't have any music.
That's so funny. You remember that.
Do you guys have aux cords in your car still?
Yeah,
aux cords.
Really?
Yeah, I do. For sure.
I have.
Really?
Yeah, I have an aux.
Well,
I have a couple.
does yours link up Bluetooth?
Everything.
See, and
I buy
that's
a
great.
car, Bluetooth
But,
radio getting bought immediately.
If one of these guys get in my car, which happens more frequently than not, but if that happens, linking up, I linked my phone up to Clay's on the way over here because we had just written a song and I was showing it to Clay. But like if Casey jumps in my car, my car's slow hooking up the Bluetooth, so I have an aux cord there just in case somebody else is in there. Plug it in real quick so we can play it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
But
plus we're DJs, so we have all that stuff
yeah.
anyway.
Well,
So
I got a
like,
Subaru, and that thing's got like I got a couple extra like 9-volt and like 12-volt outlets in the back and stuff. So I have a couple of different USBs too. So it's got an aux on there too.
You just plug it in. It's
Yeah.
just easier for you, huh?
Oh yeah, I can. Well, yeah.
I hate the cord. I'm fighting it all the time,
I
so-
use
Yeah.
Bluetooth
I
on
mean,
mine.
phones don't even have it anymore.
oh, don't get me started on that.
Yeah,
As a DJ, that takes you off so bad.
I have so
So-
many adapters. It's kind of insane.
We should
really.
ask you this question a long time ago. What kind of music do you listen to? Like, what music do you gravitate towards? Are you a country guy? Are you a rock guy? Or are you a...
Any inspirational music, dude. It's crazy, man.
Like Celine Dion.
I listen, yes, mainly Celine Dion. If you check my Spotify top plays for the year, is Celine Dion first. I do a lot of. I've over the years, and this is something I started doing. Like whenever I was like really starting to like develop my life, I think I was like 20, 21 years old when I was like really like, okay, I need to make some changes in my life for the better. And I was always pulled to it. Like even when I was a kid, I watched inspirational movies, and I liked inspirational music, but I never like realized, I never like locked onto them. Like I never realized like now like if I'm looking for a movie to watch, it's got to be inspirational. It's
Really?
got to like you ever seen Pele?
Yeah.
I love that. That's like one of my top 5 movies. 3, the Dale Earnhardt stories. The Dale Earnhardt stories. You ever seen that?
I haven't seen that one. No.
It's very inspirational. That's one of my favorite ones. Anything that's like in like my music, I listen to a lot of like rap and hip hop. Not so much hip hop, but a lot of like rap, but not like just like gangster, like smoking weed and sleeping with people. I'm listening to like MGK,
People who made it out.
or maybe some Eminem. But like, I'm a
NF.
big MGK fan because he had songs about talking about like when he was coming up, how hard he had to work and the things he had to do, and how he believed in himself and how he was going to do it, whether anyone believed in him or not. And it didn't matter how hard he had to try, he had to keep doing it. And I just love that music because like on days that I thought I couldn't do it, I would literally just put these
You'd listen
headphones
to that,
in.
and it would
I'd-
push you.
Yeah, it would just push me through my negative thoughts because I had so many negative thoughts like that just naturally ran through my head where people were like, "Oh, you can't do that," and I would just block them out, put the headphones in, and just blast it. And
It's
and
amazing
now,
when music can really do that. It can block things
yeah.
out and make you focused.
and it's like Miley Cyrus, "The Climb." You guys know that song?
Oh yeah,
Love it.
good
Love it.
song.
Who's Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, yeah, right. And it's just that's the kind of stuff I'm very pulled to. I have probably 500 songs that I listen to traditionally on repeat. Like that's like my go-to
Your
stuff.
go-to.
Yeah.
Bread and butter.
Yeah.
All right, so while we're here, and since we transitioned to music a little bit, this was one of the things I had listed, and I kind of talked to you a little bit about this before we got started here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We barely covered. We want to write a song about the fitness parlor. Now, Casey is a videographer, so his big thing is video. So we got to get your permission, obviously, since you're the owner. But we want to come up late at night one night and film a music video in the fitness parlor when it's like a low traffic time where there's not many people in there. And we won't obviously be playing music. It'll all be like we'll be video. We already have the song written at that point, but we want to write a song about the fitness parlor in the fitness parlor.
I love it.
Do you want to hear? I got some lines already written. Now this is not solidified.
What is the objective behind it?
Okay.
I'm down for it. Either way, I don't even care. If you want to bash on it and say it's the worst gym ever,
it's positive.
let's do it. I'll
It's
share
positive.
it.
gosh.
So
I'll share it.
We're a punk rock band, so it's gonna be a punk rock song. And it'll be positive. It'll be upbeat. It'll be like working out's cool. That's the idea behind it.
Is it just fun though? Is that why you guys
just
are doing it?
Yeah.
purely fun.
You guys are doing it
like
just
we
for the
hope
fun
people
of it.
like watch it and like kind of chuckle a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool.
Sure.
Like,
So it's all just for the fun of it.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
just
we're not,
content and for
Yeah,
fun.
we're not
Well,
writing music to get famous.
I'm
lot
not
of-
gonna hear it in the band, like in the bar or something.
Oh no, you might.
No,
hear
you
the
might
bar.
hear the bar. You might hear the
That'll probably
And
happen.
do
Yeah.
I have to pay for this?
Like if we
No,
see you, we'll
no,
be like,
yeah.
"Oh, this one goes out to Ryan."
I hope you do, man. I hope you do. I
yeah.
might be the only one out there dancing to it.
That's
but
fine.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
what it's
yeah.
all about.
Yeah.
I mean, here you go.
Let's hear some
I
lyrics.
could talk forever.
Okay. So we don't the biggest part of a song is the chorus, right? So we got to have a good hook for the chorus, and a lot of this, and Clay can probably speak to this too, but like when we write songs, it's all different for the band. Like Dan has his own writing style. I have my own writing style. Casey has his own writing style. We just wrote a song this past weekend, and the idea behind it was I came in with like the guitar part, and I just played it for Casey. He came up with the drum part. We'll sit on it for a while. We'll think about like what the song sounds like to us, then we'll put lyrics to it. So we're kind of working a different way this way. We're like writing the lyrics first, and then we're going to write the music to it after. So
it'd be cool to put some like subliminal motivation in it.
Sure, and that's another thing I wanted to talk to you about while we were here. We wanted to find out some like,
is there any topics?
Like is there any like key things? Like we just wrote a song called "Punk Rock Life," and it is an awesome song. We're obviously biased, but but it's to us it's about a show that we play every year, a Christmas party. In particular, but it's really more about like the fact that when we go out to play and like people come up to us and ask us to play country songs, and we're like, have you been listening to us for the last hour? Like, do we sound like a country band to you?
Yeah.
So the song is like, we live a punk rock life, and we're in a small town that wants country music, and people keep asking us to play country music. And like, that's not who we are. Like, that's what the song is about. And we added stuff like there's a part in there about like a man walks up, he has a request. He says, "Can you play George Jones because he's the best?" And we're like. And I nod my head, I grit my teeth, and on the corner I hang that wreath. There's a George Jones song is about hanging the wreath. So like we pay homage to that. We're like we're not playing that. We're a punk rock band.
Yeah,
sure.
But that's what it's all
awesome.
about. So I tried to add some stuff in there about you, and about just kind of like working out in general.
Oh, goodness.
So here's
Have you heard it, Clay?
No.
Well, you've seen the lyrics.
I've seen the lyrics. I've seen lyrics,
Okay.
but I was just.
we don't have a chorus yet.
I was going down the wrong path instantly in my head. I was like, man, we could just make fun of him and see what he reacts.
I don't care what you do. Like, rip on me the whole time.
No,
All right,
we're not.
I'm just going to read through it. I'll read each stanza, and then we can kind of stop and talk about it. The first verse.
This might be the national anthem for the gym. Every morning when I come in,
play it.
I just stand out there.
Just blast it.
Also, just so you know, whenever I write lyrics, my lyrics rhyme a lot. Whenever Casey writes lyrics or other people, they don't always have to rhyme. So this will be subject to change, and also what I'm reading here might not be what the song ends up like. But it says, "You got a dad bod, so do I. Laying on the couch, snacking on pie. It's time to change. I want to rewind back to a time when I was jacked out of my mind. Give me that supplement, superpower. I got a pump that'll last an hour." So that's the first verse.
That's good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, the pre-chorus. So this will be played before every chorus. It is let's get jacked and let's get fit. Down at Ryan's gym because he's the shit.
I like it.
Catchy.
I like it.
Yeah, let's get jacked, let's get fit. Because down at Ryan's gym, he's the shit.
You gotta keep it simple
then,
sometimes.
Boom, right into the chorus, something hard.
Yeah.
Good hook. Starting the second verse, from skater boy to entrepreneur, let's hit the gym and see who gets jacked sooner.
Okay, I like it.
That's all we got so far. But
I like it. I like where it's going.
we're gonna film a music video with your permission in your gym, and it's gonna be about the fitness parlor.
Yeah, I'm down with it. I'm down. I love it. Can I share it on my page too?
100%, yeah.
Heck yeah.
I'd like a copy to share on my page, just for the
Yeah,
fun of it.
yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
For the music video, we're probably actually gonna need you in it, so
Yeah, that's fine.
you'll probably be in it.
I would recommend hour-wise Sunday, sometime on a Sunday.
Okay.
Like day, because
And it could be late at night too. I mean, we could you know fit it in
it'd
some
probably
point.
be Sunday evening. Would
Okay.
probably be best.
Okay.
I'm just thinking because I'm a 24-hour gym. When are people going to be there? I can't shut the gym down.
Oh no, absolutely
Yeah.
not.
So I would probably.
And the way we would do it, we would not be like plugged in. Like for the music video, we'd like have our guitars and stuff. We'd be like playing
Oh,
with
so you're not
electric
actually playing
guitar.
music.
Yeah, so we
no.
record it first, and then we
Like the whole song will be done, and we'll be in there like jamming it, but no sound will be happening. Like you'll hear like the strings of an electric guitar not plugged in.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now Casey might bring his drum set in and set it up somewhere and like actually play the drums because there's no way to get that footage without actually looking like you're playing the drums.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But-
fine. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. So
I love to do something like that. I mean, that's at the end of the day, it's just free content for me, man. That's
For
what
sure.
that's what I get out of it.
Well, yeah.
Free publicity, free content. That's
Heck
why I'm
yeah.
like,
it'll
do
be
I have to pay
dorky
for
and it'll
this?
be funny.
Yeah.
Do I have to pay for this?
But like from our perspective, it's barely covered. Like if we can, you know, reach out to things that are important to us than the people in our community. Because really, we're playing for people in our community. Like, people in the surrounding areas. I'm not playing for somebody in New York.
Yeah.
If somebody in New York is attracted to our music, then fantastic. That's awesome. But, like, we're not doing this with the
Realistically,
aspect of...
that's who you're targeting.
Right.
But same with my podcast. Like, the people that are listening to this podcast, they're around the surrounding communities.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and that's who I'm doing this for.
And if we're out at the bars and we see you walk in the door, which you come to some of our shows sometimes, we'll be like, all right, hey, let's fire it up. Ryan's gym song.
Yeah. Well,
If we can get people chanting at the bar about Ryan's gym, then why not?
I mean, yeah. It helps.
I could see all my friends joining in on a nice loud boo just for me, just so I don't have that moment.
Yeah,
because that's how my friends kind of keep me level
tough
grounded.
love. It's tough love.
Yeah. They don't want me to get a big head.
But going back to like DJ and stuff, that's kind of what I do. That's why people like when I DJ is because I'll play like a song for you.
Yeah.
Like I'll find you for the night. I'm like, hey, what do you want to hear? Hey, what do you want to do?
People do love that.
A funny
Dude,
one.
you know who my guy is? Ryan Epker. Dude, if Ryan Epker's at a show that I'm DJing, dude, Ryan Epker wants to hear Shaggy every single time. He wants to hear Shaggy
and Outkast.
and Outkast. And if I see
Both
Ryan,
good, solid picks.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. If I see Ryan Epker walk in the door, I'm like, hey, this one's out for Ryan. And then I'm playing a Shaggy song.
Yeah, he just comes up. He's like, "You gonna play my song?" And I'm like, "Yeah, heck yeah, every time."
You're
I
here,
will."
of course
You know,
I am.
you showed up and you support me. Yes, I'm playing your song. But also too, like I also ask people, like, "What is your song?" I don't want to just know a song. I'm like, "What's your song that gets you going?"
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, everybody is different. It could be country, it could be Motown.
Yeah.
Like Ethan Klausner's dad. I can't remember whose wedding it was, but he was there. And he looked at me, and it was kind of like, slow start. He's like, "You got any Motown?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." Like, I love Motown, but people around here don't really ask for it.
Yeah.
A lot of older people love it, obviously, but, like, started playing Motown for him. He was dancing, getting people out there, having a great time. Like, it comes back to you.
I'll do it on touch tunes for people. I'll be in a bar, someone comes in, I know they like a certain song. Play
Yeah.
it for them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it makes the mood better, positive,
Yeah.
And it's, you get to know a little bit more about that person. Like, I'm going to name drop Mike on this one. Micah Tress is None of Your Business by Salt and Pepper. And, like, I don't know if you know Micah, but, like, I would never picture that to be Micah's song to get him on the dance floor. Like, I just wouldn't picture that or ever play that in Owensville.
Yeah.
But since Micah likes it, I play it, and he gets out there and dances,
Yeah.
Dude, what is the formula to the music that you play at the gym? Because I swear, Ryan, there's sometimes I'm in the gym, I'm like, dude, is Ryan watching the cameras? He knows I'm in here. He's like playing my music right now. Like, what's happening?
It's
like a-
Pandora's the only music streaming service that would allow me to pay for a subscription that would play nonstop without
Without ads or anything?
Spotify would be like no, they all let you have it without ads, but Spotify was like after like 12 hours they're like, "Are you still listening?"
Oh,
it's
I
like-
get what you're
okay.
saying.
And
It's like the whole Netflix thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you can pay for like local you can pay for a deal where you get a local radio station where it's like downloading like 5 minutes late the live local stations or something. But the problem is it's ads all the time on that. And I didn't want that. I want constant music going all the time. And I could make a giant playlist for free, download it all on Spotify or any music app I wanted to, and play it for a long time, I would assume. I don't know why it would stop. But Pandora gave me the option that I could play nonstop music 24/7, 365 days a year for $10 a year. So I play 90s, 2000s, and today's hits. And it's just commercially acceptable. Nobody loves it. Like, it's not like it's not like most of the songs aren't everybody's favorite songs, but it's also not everybody's.
Least favorite song.
Yeah, it's not
Easy listening
it's
music.
Easy listening music, not screamo, not rap. Everybody, like even the old dudes in there.
No
they're
one's
like,
going to get offended by it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was
Every
in there
now and then
today.
you'll come in and I'll be playing some MGK though. I'll forget my headphones, or the headphones will be dead, and it'll be a Saturday and there's no one in there, and yeah, I'll crank it up. I don't care. It's my gym.
Do you tell them what we were talking to you about?
Oh,
touch
having like a
tunes?
touch tunes in the gym.
Where we-
I think it'd be a good idea.
Nick brought that up, and I was
dude.
like, yeah. But like he
Yeah,
said,
music people would definitely be about that.
Yeah.
well, that's why I told him. I was like, I'd
There
throw
would have
20
to be
bucks
some
in
type
there.
of control over it though.
Yeah.
Like a parental control.
Yeah.
Oh,
To where,
You
like,
can't just play
Whatever you want.
Nobody
something
wants.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Cool.
the older gentleman that's in there does not want
No.
to hear some like
Slayer.
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like
yeah, you get to a
Pantera
touchy.
or-
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
tough spot.
Yeah.
But like the bowling alley gets away with it. Every time the bars obviously get away with it.
That's funny. That's what we told him.
Yeah.
Is
But
like they have
there's
the general
way to have
playlist
a
that's
restriction.
country, But like, yeah. But we were just throwing it out there just because another
Well, I'm not
venture.
gonna lie. I was in there today, and there wasn't anybody in there when I first went in. Stacy's mom came on, and I started singing it. I turned around, there's Cody Thomas. I'm like, damn, I look like an idiot.
No, you don't care, man. You know how many times that dude been in there singing, probably? You don't care.
All
He's
the
probably laughing
time.
at you.
All the time.
Laughing with you. All right, should we wrap this up?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Should we wrap this up?
I have to go to the bathroom.
Were you guys the first ones to sign?
We did not sign
No.
it. No.
You guys didn't sign it.
I don't know that you had this last time. Or
Yeah, I
It
don't-
was here, but I was. I think
nobody had signed it.
it
yet.
was the time after you guys came. I started having people sign.
Yeah, we should
so
have
I
like
didn't
barely
think about
covered
it.
and just put like our initials around it or something.
Let's do it, and then because you guys are recurring guests now,
Yeah.
so I think we should put
Both.
barely covered on there, and then you guys should put your name on there, and then you guys should put tallies
Oh,
for every time you
okay.
guys come back, so you can keep adding tallies.
Yeah.
It-
I know Casey was super bummed that he couldn't make it, so
We should start on
He'll wanna
that
be on
side
sometime.
and
I
just,
got a
just
lot
come
of-
all the way across.
I got a lot of open space over here.
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
So
Okay.
Well, we appreciate you having us, and
thanks for coming
Thanks
on.
for having us.
We racked up some time on this. I'm probably gonna have to pay double to get this edited, but that's fine. I think it's gonna be a great episode. I think a lot of people are really gonna enjoy it. A lot of people I think get disinterested because I talk a lot about business.
we talked a lot about school this time.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Education, like
yeah.
how to like grow up.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see. You guys let us know. Make sure you guys subscribe and like it. Either way, though.
Absolutely.
That's how I grow. Thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you,
No
Ryan.
problem. Thanks, Ryan.